welcome to Pokemon Violet. It is humid as hell, as per usual, at the present moment. And last time we had errors on the website of the tracker, and this time we don't. Hooray! Which means I can see all the things. As you can see here, our glorious team. Actually, quite coming along quite nicely. Also quite orange. And thankfully, not all of them are randomly fire type. That would be weird. This time we plan to do more objectives. We obviously also have areas we can do encounters in. We are currently near the Orphan. Now, again, Gastron, kind of pointless having for that fight because it's got Earth Eater. But we do have these two lovely Pokemon here that will do quite well, as with Pormont as well, as per usual. No, pardon me. I gotta say, fighting is actually a real good type in Gen 9. Like, honestly, they made me love the fighting type much more. Pormont's got the annoying evolutionary thing, but yeah. And of course, if we head into our boxes, our glorious collection of those that are alive. And that is dead. Poor Yama. Never to be a young nigger. Well, Carmine had to do something, I guess. Spoilers for previous parts. But yeah, so ideally we want something maybe a little bit different on the team other than Gastrodon for the Orphan fight. And by that logic, maybe putting, for now, on the team Heracross. Does it actually have any ways of fighting these at this point? It does. It has Arm Thrust. And it has Swarm. But it has no bug maneuvers yet. Or it does have a bug maneuver that the game has cleverly good. Nope, just tackle. Nah, never mind. And I actually probably prefer that over Fury Attack, actually, in some ways. But, you know, we could, obviously... Oh! Oh, it's got a Dawn Mark. That's kind of neat. Because normally, if it hasn't got a ribbon or a mark available to it, which includes the shiny, so, you know, there just isn't a button. But Heracross has it. That's kind of neat. So that means if we use it in battle, it will be saying Mia, the early riser, instead of Mia. So that's cool. We'll put it on the team, I guess, over Heracross, over Gastrodon. But for the purposes of fighting Orphan, this is ideal, because Orphan can't really do as much other than tank a hit against some of its maneuvers. So having fighting be what we utilise, and for that matter I'm just going to switch to Furigaro up front just in case we encounter Pokemon. So yes, there's two Pokemon I ideally want to level up to nearer to 30, which in order to do that we're going to have to now head off and do the things. Also, if we happen to go into West Province Area 2 anytime soon, we can catch another Pokemon. But of course, naturally, we actually won't be doing that just because, funnily enough, I don't have the map thing up. Why is it gone? It's gone into my inactive tabs. What the I've been using it more often than that, Google. Sheesh. Think you know a thing. So we're currently in East Province Area 3, where I believe what happened was we fucked up an encounter. Or we didn't. What did we do? Oh no, we got the Bramblin. We got Bramblin. That's what happened. Ugh. I'm not evolving it yet. If I, for any reason, need to have access to a grass type, and all my other ones have magically died that I happen to have on the team at any point, then I will spend the time to level a Brambleghast up. And this is a Magikarp. So this area we can't catch, but we can go into the Terradans to collect the resources that can be gotten, like from this 2-star Magikarp Rock Terra type. Huh. I mean, that's not useful as a Magikarp, but if you caught one and it happened to have been evolved into Gyarados, if it could learn a Water-type move, then that would be very useful, actually. Speaking of the warmth, I am going for the approach of drinking a cup of tea from my big red cup, mainly because the Scarlet and Violet one requires a bit of a wash. For me drinking tea out of it from so I just look over here and I see the word G. It's just like, oh, right. they did, Morikawa did do that. Just laying some gah. So yeah, this is a magic card at the end of the day, unless it's one that happens to have access to Hydro Pump, which in Sword and Shield you could actually have as a fellow ally in a single player approach of doing the Dynamax raids, could have one that actually did have Hydro Pump, which was kind of cool. At least it gave it something to do other than but yep, there we go, don't catch, charge. Do we even get anything good out of the 2-star one? No, I mean, we've got a medium candy and some small ones. Tiny mushrooms, magic upscales. That's the thing, hitting down various Pokemon that we can fight isn't a bad idea as well, because at least it does net us more resources for potential TMs, and you know, that means potential coverage on the Pokemon we do have. So, you know, also updates our Pokédex so we can see where they may elsewhere they may be as well, which might actually be useful in some way, shape or form. We're at night, so we get the Ghastly shown, so we can fight a Ghastly. We need XP. Not for a Gato, that's not needed, but then again, it's still level 30, so you know what, it's of level for the Water Gym, which is important as well. We're going to level up Pokemon that we may not be able to use. Yeah, hooray! But that's just how it goes, you know. So realistically, I'm just going to look around on the map for... Ooh, that one's in the water. Hence why it's water. So that one... Looking on the map sometimes can be useful as well, just to see what Pokemon are around. Yep, this one's area 2, so Breezel. So around, Rifle. And that's a Krillfish. With water capabilities. And the 3-star variety. 3-star variety Krillfish. What? Well, pray tell, what could a 3-star Krillfish potentially have? Well, first of all, it's a water type from Gen 2. It is part poison normally, so it should probably have a poison move. Well, based off of its level up moveset, if it's high enough, if the 3-star ones are high enough level, could have poison jab. Oh. That's not good. Now, for the record, I could theoretically go onto a Scarlet file quickly and check what happens if we do a 3-star raid. Unfortunately, my Scarlet file has the dreaded black 7-star shit sometimes, so I honestly think we can't. I'm thinking of it. It's pure water. It hasn't got its poison stuff. It's gonna have water moves. It's gonna have poison moves. Actually, realistically speaking, the best option would be Cormont. It's electric out of all of these options we've got right now, so that's the issue with the Pterodactyls. And I bring it up every time because it does bear repeating. If you're not collecting every single Pokemon possible, ooh, Drain Punch. Ooh. I wasn't trying to use the camera app. I'm trying to go into my bag to quickly. Where did it put it? Where did it put it? Drain Punch. No! Pokemon can't learn Drain Punch. But that would be so useful! Damn you, Game Freak! And same with Heracross, actually, for that matter. Why can't Heracross learn it? It's a fucking fighting type. But Pokemon and Heracross, they are fighting types. They have arms! Why can't they use Drain Punch? That's so good! That would be so good! That's a Walk one. We'll find another Walk one for a Gato. We could do more with that. So much more. Duh. Now you see, Game Freak just really doesn't like the idea of us using anything but Arm Thrust, it would seem. Gee. Thanks, Game Freak. And this is also a Qwilfish, although Rock type this time, so it won't even have Water Stab. You know, I'm beginning to think that they really want me to fight 3-star Qwilfishes. Actually, you know what? This is worth an investigation. What are the... This is worth doing a Google. Level of Terror... So this gives you an idea of what their moveset may be. 1 stars are level 12, 2 stars are level 25, 3 stars are level 35, 4 star 45. So, okay, usual pattern is occurring here. 5-star is 75. I'm assuming it's because 5 stars you don't get access to till either you have access to Area 0 or you've done the Area 0 stuff in the story. And then 6 stars is level 90. Ooh, level 90. Ugh, so, knowing that a 3-star Krillfish Wave will be level 35, it has access to Pin Missile. Oh wait, that's not too much. Brine Witch, decent water move, 65 base power overall, but can also deal more damage if, say, the Pokemon's on low and half health, so, you know, gets it down there. But it does have access, therefore, in the 3-star waves, access to Poison Jab. I cannot willingly send most of my Pokemon out that would be useful here, because they would get murdered by Poison Jab. Actually, no, Gastrodon would be fine, actually. Ooh, it's a Ghost League Bagon! Ooh, I'm spooked. I'm terrified. I actually don't know what Bagon has. It's a 3-star at level 55. Let's take a look, shall we? Gen 3 Dragon Bagon will most likely have, since it will probably have it would have Sen Headbutt, oof, and Dragon Claw and Crunch potentially. Ooh, right. You know what? I'm happily going to Krillfish one. I'll use Gastrodon. We'll be under the oh, that's the key thing. That's the key thing about that. Level 55. My Pokemon are below that. Quite enough below. Right, that's actually probably not worthwhile. Right, okay. I didn't want to get boxes, I want to get the bag. Foolish me. Right, okay. So in that essence, then eat this Heracross. Aerial Ace, hurrah! So one way to grind, and I'll have that with Fury Attack any day of the week. One way to grind up specific Pokemon could always be if you have a Pokemon that you can murder everything with quite well, and its level doesn't really matter too much. You can utilize that to great effect. So, yeah, realistically speaking, I know over leveling is probably a bad thing to do, but like I've got Pokemon I want to have leveled, so the best thing to do is find an area where I've got Pokemon that easily murders no matter what. Like I said, easily murders no matter what, and then go from there. Even if they are maybe higher level, but also potentially higher evolution. Because higher evolved Pokemon will tend to deal more, tend to give you more experience, because they are ideally a Pokemon that you wouldn't just go all willy-nilly at. You'd rather substitute all over a Dreadnought, supposedly. And looking at it, not bad. At Horn Attack, it's not a bug move, but I'll take it. I'll have it over Leer. Why not? So yes, leveling up a Heracross, lovely stuff. It will help out against the Orthron. And what's wanting Thunder Wave? Ah, Paulmont wants Thunder Wave. To be fair, Thunder Wave is a nice thing to have potentially, because paralysis is always not a bad idea. Thunder Punch will probably be better off for me to use in story shenanigans, because at least then I'm going to be hitting the Pokemon. You know? First is say, so yeah, decent XP from that, but if we say fight a Basculin, seeing as it's not fully evolved, although it is also fully evolved, it's weird like that. Technically speaking, all Red Stripe and Blue Stripe Basculins never evolved in the first place. The ones you can find in Legends Arceus are the White Stripe ones. Those are the ones that specifically can evolve into Bastion Legion. Yeah, so obviously do the maths on that one. Anyway, Acrobatics on Fletchinder, which will utilize its slightly better physical attack than its special attack. So we either want a heightened chance of landing critical hits with Air Cutter, or we could use our Acrobatics, don't put an item on it, and it will deal more damage. But we also don't need both Ember and Flame Charge. Like Ember's 40, Flame Charge 50, slightly better physical attack. You know, I'll say I'll actively have acrobatics on there. Sometimes we might want to fish for a crit, you know. Obviously, if all round better moves come about, we'll assess from there. But you know, so is it just going to all be freestyle wades at this point? I'm going to find, you know, that actually is slightly annoying, you know. Just out of that makes quite a lot of them a lot more harder overall-wise, just in general. West Province Area 2 is here near the desert, and we haven't got an encounter in the desert yet either, so we could go there. Once my Pokemon are nearer to the, like, mid-30s, we could do something with... Oh yeah, we could also go Tag Tree Thicket. That's going to keep knocking me up. I think, since obviously we're meant to be around the level of the Pokemon we're fighting in this area, we could go for this for a bit. See, the thing is having multiple ground types isn't a bad idea. See, for Orphan, it is. But for the nearby Team Starbase, it's actually not. Because Poison is weak to our delectable... Oh, no, that's not the tab I wanted. To our delectable Powers of Ground. So, myriad ground types would be lovely there. And I'll be honest, I would have streamed earlier in the morning, but I had a slight issue called I had to go outside. I had to go into this heat and be melting into a puddle in the middle of places and being like, oh, woe is me. So if this ends up being like a 2-star one, we could throw in multiple different ones against the bug. No, it's only 1 star for that matter. You know what, we'll do it. We'll fight it. We'll murder it with our Fletch Tinder just because we can. Why not, you know? You know what? See, there's 2 modes to long hair. You can have it more refined, more sophisticated, having it in a ponytail, because then it gives off the allure that, you know, you are trying to work, it's just like you're also having to have a load of hair, and then you can just do that. Now it's messier, now it's doing work, now it's strewn all over the place. That sounds a little bit off, you know? I'm so like that. Because sometimes Rachel's can well, we can show off the power of acrobatics. It goes in, it hits hard, and we win. We have to get charmed by the Adjuville because damn is it cute. Oh, did catch a glimpse of the DK Bonanza stuff. I saw probably the same clip that's been a clip that's fly that's thrown in through the window. God damn it! I've seen a clip of it, and it's like, oh, Pauline. No, fair enough. And it's like, eh. For the power scene, being able to transform Donkey Kong into a Seabo, an ostrich. I mean, sure, I'll take it. And it's like, okay, yeah, this looks like basically Donkey Kong variant to Mario Odyssey to an extent. And it's like, you know what? Sure, why not? Mario Odyssey was considered and is considered a really good Mario game. So, highly likely this means that Donkey Kong Bonanza, because banana pun, will also be a good game. For those that choose to play it. Me, myself, I'm on Switch 1. So no, I will not be playing it, at least not at launch. But who knows, maybe when I have a Switch 2, I'll get my hands on it and have a bunch of fun with Donkey Kong. Although it is a platformer and I tend to stay away from them, so that's just more my own personal preferences showing more than anything else. You know what? Astron would be lovely to have on the team against Carkles. I realise that now. Yeah. That's the thing. I've eliminated having Astron on the team. Hello, yeah, the Cooper's only like level 20. Oh, we can fight them. We can see how much they give. Look at the elephant. No. Okay, so that's how much Ember does from a Salandra at this point. That's how much damage a Goofant does. Hooray! So I won't show off the power of corrosion, because that's a strategy we can do on the offline. We can poison it with maybe Salazzle. We can also use the auto battler. See, it's going around being like, it's an antidote. But you want to be careful. You don't want it to fight the ground types. That will hurt. But look at me, precious lizard. Ain't she great? And she can murder. So, you know, lovely stuff. Alright, now before I get assaulted in a way where Salandit dies horribly, more ways of experience would obviously be fighting trainers, you can find any. More importantly is maybe let's go into Tag Tree Thicket, see what we can gather in terms of items and potential Pokemon. Because obviously there's going to be the options. We need to make sure we're actually heading there though, so ideally that means let's set this Pokemon Center as our destination, which is over this way. And you can tell where roughly it is because of the Team Star stuff. Team Star. Ah, Growlithe! Hello, Growlithe! Oh, he's a good boy. I am not in the white Pokemon first, I'm just not. You get to live this day, Growlithe! Because you're a precious boy, and oh good, you just chased me. Aggressive Fire Doggo. Sentei is even bigger aggressive Fire Doggo, that's legendary. And Arcanine, of course, is the evolved form of aggressive Fire Doggo. I don't know why I was thinking of Entei alongside it first. But haha, we did it. We made it to the Pokemon Center. Random Growlithe aside. You know what? I was in my head as a point of time, like, you have long hair in the warm weather, and it's like, you have short hair in the cold weather, and it's like, you're gonna need to put on a woolly hat. And you know what? There's plenty of woolly hats with plenty of fantastic aesthetics to them that make you go, yes, that isn't indeed a hat I would want to be caught wearing outside. No fashion police will get me on this day. More I've gone this way. Why am I going this way? My mind has gone the wrong direction again. Hooray! But yes, behold, the Tag Tree Thicket. Oh, sorry, Magahetas. They're not in the thicket, so we don't have to worry about them attacking us at the moment. But yes, heading into the thicket cutscenes us. Because Clavel's just standing there, menacingly. He's beginning to see things a bit more clearly on this day, and that's all I reference of that, because while I don't mind Metrolingus as their, in terms of their music, I certainly do not give two flying fucks about the wrestler that had that theme. I don't even remember his name, that's how unimportant he's become, whoever he is. But while AEW fans cope against my mind of proceedings, we're now stuck in the middle of the thicket with a bunch of Pokemon that we could potentially be catching, and also, by God, the frames! It's never been this bad, Impidimp, no! right, let's get back to the entrance. So anyways, when you don't get cutscenes, you go through this bit here. Right, so, Tag Tree Thicket is there, and in terms of potential... There are supposedly a few trainers in and around here that are utilizing like level 30-ish Pokemon primarily. There's a trainer in here, there's a courier in here supposedly with a Pelipper, so probably best to have an electric type up front for that. I was thinking of going towards that poison thing just to see what it is, but monkey. Oh, and because it's very glassy, we've got to be careful of the Strudels. Pokemon far out way. That's not so good. Right, okay, so Tag Team Thicket. There's Strudel. there's Impidimp, there's Monkey, there's Koalas, there's even some Squavits and occasional Greedent with them. Huh. Have Pawmont fight them for XP. There's even Pinecone if we wanted to go for the Bug Perp. Well, though, hang on, Pinecone might have Explosion at this point. My lessons from Gen 2 has taught me well. If a Pokemon might have, if you know a Pokemon's got Explosion in their moveset or Self-Destruct, don't tango with them lest you want to run that risk on your Pokemon. That Eevee was so young. That coughing is so much of a bitch. And there's also, if we want to go for Grass, something that we should, Fungus! Spore is an option. We could have a Spore user, which would make all of our catching so much easier. Same with like having some quick balls as well. But you gotta be careful with fast choices sometimes. Impidimps are about a course bark, fairy shenanigans from them. Bellybolt in the wild, look at it hop. Level 30, so we are of the level, and because we've got the right amount of gym badges that we can actually catch these without issue. But without as much issue, you can still technically catch them. So Fire-Eye, the Evolve Form, Breezal, Psyduck, so you go from here to the river. Maybe another chance of Mimikyu? Maybe not. Maybe not on that one. I think we've learned our lesson on that. That's not, you know? So it's really just a case of just thinking what we desire the most. Spidops, no. Spidops is so underpowered for what it offers. Now, it would be very unwise of us. If we wanted to go for a Tadbulb, we can. Although we're on this side of the river, so we can always hop into the river, but then that will render us in the river, and I'm not sure if we can get out of the river. Also, ideally I don't want another water type, so Impidimp's Dark Fairy, that could be very useful. Dark covers psychic types quite well. Ah, Poniard! You're useless. No, quite literally, the only form of Bishop you want to catch is the one that's surrounded by Poniards in a higher level area. Because that's the, or at least still the thing off of it, you know? Because that's the only way to get King Gambit. And like, King Gambit, cool. Main gimmick requires you to be in a losing situation, really, in terms of your Pokemon team. I think I found the Pelipper Curia. In which case, Pawmont. Oh, Psyduck's trying to chase me. Somehow he's gotten lost. He's trying to look for the Team Star Poison Bag, which is actually not in the bit which is in the bit we were at. So yeah, he got lost. But Pelipper's actually quite good. As much as I hate the Seagull missile that is Wingull, Pelipper, it's so good for Wayne Team. So if you're, and even electric Pokemon that have Thunder, like, it's so good in that form that it's just like, why would you not have one on the team? Like, yeah, it's 4 times weak to electric, but the utility, that's what you have to care about. Behold, a Floatzel in the grass. I don't know what it was doing, bending over like that, but hey, you know, to each their own. And, ooh, Terra Water Murkrow. Now we can actually place our controller down and think now, based off of what we've seen. Floatzel has that electric weakness, as is Murkrow. We really see, here's the thing. In terms of fighting something that is specifically electric type outside of random trainers or random Pokemon, we actually don't have to worry too much because we've beaten the Vincia Gym, which, you know, is the electric type thing. Out of all things. With... there is things going for in terms of overall stuff we could do, the Fire-Eye's normal poison, so it's weak to ground, but outside of that, as poison don't reduce, we can certainly do something. As for some of the other Pokemon, I don't know. We can consider the Murkrow. Oh, they were looking at me. Hello, Float. Oh, fuck. Oh, I should not stand around and just let them attack. Fungus is an option, because at the end of the day, it would grant us potential on a Pokemon with Spore. let us head over to Grass and specifically Gen 5. Fungus gets Effect Spore. It's kind of shite, but we're getting them near enough to its level. It should get access to Spore at 48, or if it's an Amoongus, 54. So we wouldn't actually have access to Spore till later, but at the same time that will still be really useful. I'm selling myself on that. That's not a bad idea. It's like, put that in the back pocket for a moment. Be like, if we can't find anything else that we really, really want. One clone's a bit low powered due to the early game Pokemon it is. Mimikyus are about Ghost Fairy, but we've tried our shot at one before and failed horrendously, so not sure if I want to run the risk of knocking it out again. Impidimps again exist, as the Strudels. Impidimps more of an investment, because we would be then having to get it to become Grimmsnarl. In terms of what it is, Dark and Fairy. In terms of level requirement, level 32, so these ones are either right nearby or of the level for it. To go to Morgrim and then into Grimmsnarl level 42. Not the worst idea ever. Spirit Break, False Surrender. Some really good moves. Its weaknesses are Poison, Steel and Fairy, so doesn't help us for Wolfram, doesn't help us for the Poison Team Starbase, doesn't help us for the Fairy Team Starbase, but it will help us against the Psychic Gym, the Dragon Titan potentially, the Ghost Gym, and we've already beat Giacomo, so Dark isn't as much of a thing anymore. That's the thing, in terms of overall what it could help us do, is again another one of those investments where it's like, oh, it could probably help. Okay, there's combis over there. We are not to encounter combis because chances are we'll get a male one and I'll then bash my head in and pretend that this stream never occurred. Either that or it's due to a concussion making me forget that we did said stream. Either or, and there is the Terra Pokemon over there. We can also head down this bit of falliness and end up back in East Province Area 3. Oh, how lovely. We can start beating up Dug Trios again. Well, if we decide to do that. Stop beating up random Pokemon, you meanies. So, you know, we have options. Ah, it's a good fire. That's Terra-typed. I don't know what... Ooh, we found a Shadowclaw TM. That's really good. Shadowclaw's a good one. Don't know why the thicket seems to be hurting the frames as much. But yes, there is the monkey over there. I believe that's the Scarlet variety, because a Passimian. Oh, that's a real tiny fungus just in the grass there. I can just barely see it. They can barely see me. See, here's the thing. I don't want more grass as well, but actually in the way though, that's not too bad because we are going to have to do the water gym at some point, and it would be an option. Bram grass is also an option. I do know that as a fact. It's going to type in wood though. Whereas this is poison typing. Not so good against ground types, but to be fair, I'm covered when it comes to dealing with ground types. You know what? Yeah, I've sold myself on it. I've been beating around the bush. I've ended up selling myself on it. I want fungus out of all the options we've got. So right now, I don't know what we could actually throw at it that would work in our favour. I could always try throwing a netball. I could always hope that I can... Oh, which Pokemon do I have that would be the best one to hit? Say not a number of them. Maybe switch to Fletch Tinder. Yeah, let's switch to Fletch Tinder and use Quick Attack because it's lower level, so therefore, ultimately speaking, our stats shouldn't be breaking it apart. Also means that we might be getting hurt a bit. I'm thinking... Oh, we actually deal a lot less damage than before, and we just been effect scored. I made a mistake. I forgot that effect spores thing. Let's switch over to fight Thatch Buns and Maybe use a different move. Oh, then again, we're physical. Okay. But, ooh, that's a Giga Drain. I mean, that's a good thing in a way, because that means we can fight and definitely not murder too much. Hey, if we get flinch, that'll be good. I'm not guaranteed effects for it every single time, so, you know. So another bite should do the trick for the time being in terms of damage, yep. Outside of bigger drains, but we should be fine on that end. And we've got plenty of quick balls, we'll fight quick ball. I would try and put it to sleep, but we don't really have many ways of that, and actually, you know what? Specifically, like, over-leveling a Fungus to a Mungus just to have Spore, this is the worst idea I've had. Oh yeah, Clear Smoke's poison. We're using a fairy. Ooh. Just realised that. We should be able to throw one more ball before it's not a good thing. 2, 3. Yeah, we got a Fungus. We've got a Mushroom. I don't know what to call it. As per usual, I don't know what to call things. But this is more for. But this is only a thing. Would we like to give it a nickname? Yes, I certainly do. Hmm. Let's call it... What shall I call it? Let's call it something. Shroomy. Because it's a shroom, it's a mushroom. It will do, alright, ladies and gentlemen, it will do. I'm not sorry on any names I come up with. R1 happens to be speed up defense down. That's nasty, but I'd rather have the defense. But yeah, currently this is its moveset. We can't really put people to sleep with it. We'll check to see if we can. We'll add it to the party for the moment. Just need to actually assess things. For the moment, let's put Dash Bang in the moment. Fungus there. So at the moment, in terms of its moveset, we do have access to, outside of what it already has, Mega Drain, which is weaker, Stun Spore for paralysis, Growth, Absorb, Astonish. Okay. I mean, having access to paralysis isn't a bad idea. Have over Sweet Scent. So at least we can paralyze. Lovely stuff. And we can poison with Salandit. Love it. Well, Salazzle. Salandit. It's not Salazzle yet. Don't mind me just being a dum-dum. We're finding the apples that you could use from apple. Interesting. So technically speaking, what the tracker shows us in terms of areas, like West Palms Area 2, Area 3, Dallas, Sipper, Passagea, South Mountain, south part of Celeste Mountain. Hey shit, it lived. How the fuck did it live? Then again, Dreadnought is a defensive poke, has a bit of good physical bulk to it, so yeah, actually thinking it through. But yeah, this is giving me the experience I desire. Alright, they want to fight Paulmont, so fight them. What? There. Paulmont! Defend me! Defend your leader! The tutors don't know what's coming to them! Punch them in the face very hard! Paulmont, teach them what it means! I don't know why I'm bullying them so much. I very much have spent a lot of time enjoying using Dreadnought, funnily enough. Multiple playthroughs of Gen 8 have yielded us multiple instances of using a tutor into Dreadnought. The simple name of the norm, usually. Oh, really 2 times. I really need loaded dice if I'm going to keep having to use Arm Thrust. Fuck it. Oh no, Body Slam. That's a stab, Body Slam. I agree with that, please. We need a better fighting move than fucking Arm Thrust. Yet Game Freak are just like, no, you're not allowed anything better. And then I'm really sad because that means my Arm Thrust is like because I'm serious, like, if we could just have something else fighting wise. When do we get another fighting move? We don't get another fighting move fire level up on Paulmont until close combat. I mean, close combat's really good, don't get me wrong, but level 44. So we're stuck with Arm Thrust for a while unless we can find a TM that could actually learn. Anyway, meanwhile, in terms of things that stuff can learn, Incinerate. That's better than Ember, 100%. Hooray! For us. Farger forgets Ember and learned Incinerate. You know what? Actually, you know what? Thinking it through, the poison, since I called it Farger, the poison moves are the dark types, like Noferatu, Ruin, that sort of stuff. And then naturally that just means the fire moves are just a fire type, like we put Elf Fire or Arc Fire on her, you know? I realised that after the naming. So yeah, anyway, there's a Murkrow in here, we can just challenge alone quickly to get the resources. OBS disconnected for a second there. Just gonna have to check to make sure the stream's still up. Stream is still up. Hooray! And there's concurrent views. Hooray! Well, you know what? Pokemon in the summer. Yeah, that makes sense. Out of all things. No, I won't. No, I won't go on that too much. My nose still. I think my nose will always go. Yep, nice, good old Thunder Punch, and it's using Astonish. Haha. Right, okay. Thunder Punch! Murkrow's dead. Haha, we're murdering the Murkrow today. And so we did get a brief second of being able to see our precious Snorlax. I think Snorlax is a precious, silly little guy that you shouldn't harm in any way, shape or form. You harm the Snorlax, I'll harm you. No, it's all S candy. No, I wanted mediums. Damn it. I guess there is also, we could farm rewards off of the Ogre ousting. I'm just shit at it. Maybe I'd do better if I was on Switch too. Who knows? That shiny Munchlax will forever elude us. Which is fine. You know what? I don't really mind not getting my hands on a shiny Munchlax. To be honest, I really don't care about Munchlax as much. I care more that it's it would be a freebie for us doing the Ogre ousting more than anything else. Ooh, fresh water. Right, okay, so I think we've done all we can do from now from here. Oh, what's this? Oh, actually, there is a ground in there. Hey, Gigantets can be found here as well. Huh, fancy that. But less so on that overall fanciness, because, it's only Ground Grimer. Ground Grimer. That means my best option is to switch over to Gastrodon. Just out of, I can't go for my grass types against it because poison. Ooh, you know what? It makes things so much easier if I dabble on minus. But obviously for the Nuzlocke rulings, I argue, obviously I do not. The only exceptions to that rule I would ever do, potentially, would be on a trade evolution. And even then I'd be like, in the spirit of things, having access to even a trade of a single Pokemon could alter how the one would go, right? Like, being forced to be stuck with Haunter versus a Gengar, for example, would be an interesting way to go about it. Maybe to alleviate it. Maybe find it, get an Eevee first, but still, it's an option. And while we're doing this, where's my course? Oh yeah, no, we're poisoned, we're on a timer! My slug, no! Oh wait, but we won. Hooray, we won! Aw, if only we got guts in there. Its next fighting move is counter. Oh, no, we don't catch. We really caught back here. Hell Course gets counter at 25, then Brick Break at 5. So we get moves. Ooh, Planet Stardust. Thank you, game. I will sell that later. Actually, what we'll be doing is heading back to a Pokemon Center first and foremost out of anything. But we can now feed my Pokemon more candy. Always. I'm glad it's not just Krillfish, Nightmare, all over my feed. But hey, you know, that's good. So I may have, I may have gone a bit close to the thing here, where a small child is demanding to go see the poison base leader. And I am also a rando. Hello, me being rando person. Yep, it's me, Nuz Quick Dose. I kinda have a Pokemon that's not the best against poison types up front right now with Pormont. And the poison base is more suited for a little bit later, i.e. if we go onto the tracker, i.e. their level. Oh, actually no, they're still in the early 30s. Basically, for whatever reason, once you get done with the stuff that's early 20s and Mela, it's like all forms 29, Kofu's 30, Atticus 33-ish, and then Nemona in the 5th gym area being level 36 and 37 Pokemon, pardon me. So this trainer here, I believe, is gonna hit us with a Gulpin. And maybe a Shrew. Actually, the Shrew will be fine. We can fight the Shrew. Bring it on. I forced myself into this situation. We'll follow it through. My team may not be ideal for the poison thing right now. I want to put my ground types back on full thing. But Gulpin, we can fight. We can. It's Gulpin. Plus it's Gulpin. I like Swallow. I don't think Swallow's a good Pokemon. Or rather, I like it. Whether or not Swallow actually a good Pokemon, yeah, well, when was the last time you saw? And the winner of this Pokemon tournament, the guy with 6 Swallows. You haven't heard that in ever. Unless there was a man once. Oh, the toxic. Oh no. So even if Gulpin and then the Shriddle does no damage to us, we are now on a vicious timer. We'll dig the Gulpin. We'll do that much. I think I'm gonna want to, but I think I may want to swap. And it's gonna. No, I understand why it's doing that. This whole stockpile thing. Well, Pormon gets hurt by its poisoning. Well, we kill the Gulpin, and Shriddle we could probably deal with quite easily. Actually, still because thing doesn't help it that much. Like, it doesn't give it any additional weaknesses, but it also doesn't give it any additional resistance. In fact, it loses its fighting resistance. But looking at my team, I can at least not get poisoned by using Salander. So at the very least, we can't be poisoned with it. And look at you, no. And I do want to check this. And I should probably check. Does poison? Yeah, poisons even if it's. So we can poison the strudel with poison gas. Ow. Okay, so I can be a bitch then against it because it's going to use slash. Stab slash. Oh, that makes critical hits. So yeah, we could be a bitch about this then. I should have had a ghost type up here, around here then. Realize that now. So we got potions. We can just do this for a while. And so how's the weather, ladies and gentlemen? Hot? Maybe cold where you live. Who knows? Oh, how flatterous. We've been flattered. Yep. Have more special attack, hooray! But now we are also confused. If my plan was to just heal myself through slashes, then I guess we can go for Incinerate. Yeah, that was what I was afraid of. Use. No! I'm never gonna get my Salazzle. Well, that's lovely. Where did I put the Salazzle one? Because we got that Slandit one. Oh, right. Trainer Fire, Smith. Well, we'll probably be faster. We'll bite the fuck out of it. So faster, and we flinch it. Now what, we probably could have just used Tormont thinking it through. It would have probably been more effective actually. I wanted to just not have to worry about the poison timer. Right, okay, right, well, we beat Yusuf. He ain't no warrior. But, he obviously has his reasons for doing this, but we don't have to go wading the base yet. Thankfully, we do get that power to not just go charging in the gates with our grass types. That would be stupid. So, we'll come back here in a minute. Well, later. We'll come back here later when we're not going to be foolishly murdering our Pokemon. That would be really useful for what we're trying to do. But, oh well. Not much I can do now. So, yes. What shall we now put on the team? The Gastrodon's not a bad shout, still being on the team in general. At the moment still anyway, because at least then we're still using it. Yeah, let's actually, we haven't put it in the party yet. We have to decide what we're doing on that front. Yes, we'll be wiping them off the map, Cassiopeia, definitely. We'll be with you in a second. The boxes. Oops. Right, well we could obviously put Gastrodon back on the team, we could put Thatchbun on the team, we could even put Crumple up there and get it to be leveled up a little bit more so we could utilise it still typing against Fairy, still typing able to get as a Polion potentially in the future, or one of these various other Pokemon we do have access to that would be maybe useful to utilise. Like, let's face it, maybe it's a good idea for me to just evolve Charjabug real quick. Let's do that, let's put Charjabug on the team, let's not beat around the bush. Let's get the fuck out of this jungle for the time being, because clearly it is taken a life. We can evolve Charjabug after we heal here, because might as well. Then we can utilise the various moves it can have as a Vikavolt. Actually, do we even have the right item for it at the moment? It would be Thunderstone? Because thankfully they realised electrical area that we put real late into the game, people don't like that. To the surprise of no one likes that sort of thing occurring where you just have to deal with it, you know? We got all this stuff. Thunderstone! There we go. Charge Bug gets to evolve into a Phycophole and becomes more of a special attacker in the process. Oh, I know why we haven't been using it. It's because it's jolly. Otherwise I probably would use it actually, because, you know, I like Phycophole. Phycophole's cool. Look at it, look at it. Also, levitate. So, you know, doesn't have to worry about dying horribly to a ground type. Which is good. That's a good thing. They knew what they were doing. And, of course, immediately wants to learn Thunderbolt. Sensible decision. Ugh, it's a slow Pokemon. It really is. But, you know. We don't really need Bite on it. Ta-da! So, yeah. I would, if I had a mint. Which one do I have? I have a Hasty Mint. So, if I use... So, okay, this shows off the mints then, I guess. If we because I don't know if we've used one before on here. On any file. So, if we use the Hasty Mint, it now changes it so its speed is still up. Still says it's pretty jolly by nature, but it does alter what is good and what is bad. Now its defense is suffering, but its speed isn't. Its speed is still being benefited, and now the special attack actually looks better. It actually looks like it's going to be useful. Now, we also get access to a load of moves, like Discharge if we want to do double battle shenanigans, but we have Thunderbolt, so not so much on that one. Also have access to just things like Crunch and X-Scissor and Dig. At the end of the day, these are decent moves. Unfortunately, on a Pokemon that doesn't use them as much. And by that I mean, we are definitely on a Pokemon that wants to be using special attacks a lot more. Like a hell of a lot more. Which is a shame really, that most of its moveset is physical attacks, randomly. Like the only two other moves Phycophole gets, fire level up, special move wise, is Bug Buzz at 36. That's useful, so for the time being we'll just have X-Scissor then. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, X-Scissor still a very good bug maneuver. If we really need to hit something that's weak to bug, we can use X-Scissor. As for Mud Slap is weak, but we're utilizing it to the best of our abilities. Also lowers accuracy. That can be useful still. And I guess we can get rid of String Shot for Crunch. Again, it's not the best because it is physical, but at the end of the day, it is also 80 base power. At the end of the day, that is still useful overall wise. So, okay, so this is looking not too bad at the moment then. Our mistakes aside, where's our various XP candies? There they are. Let's get you up a bit more Heracross. There we go, level 27 is quite useful actually. Counter, we could utilise Counter quite well actually, theoretically speaking, because if we get hit by a physical move, and seeing as we're going to be fighting a Orthworm which has 3 physical moves and Sandstorm, maybe we'll take it over Arm Thrust. It's an idea. I'm not saying like we're going to start with Heracross and go from there, but it is useful. Sadly we did lose on a thing, but well. Anyway, what can we teach at the moment? Heat Wave can be taught to Fletch Tinder if we really want a 95 base power from there. Tailwind's always lovely. Power Gem, I want good things against Steel. Sadly, Drain Punch is not one of them. Shadow Claw is a decent move. It's a base 70 power physical ghost type maneuver, so that's quite useful to taking on ghost types with. And it has a heightened chance of landing critical hits. We can put it on Heracross for coverage, we can put it on Follow-Gatto for coverage. So, you know, lovely stuff. Although Follow-Gatto already has access to Dark, which is good coverage against ghosts anyway. So, it's more other Pokemon. We could have Volt Switch on Phycophole. That could be useful. Otherwise, I'm looking through Melkor. bulldoze, airways, fire spin, pounds. Yeah, otherwise there's not really much more. I wouldn't want to drain punch on one of them. Damn it! Right, anyway, since we're near a Pokemon, we'll sell a bunch of our treasure that we don't really need. We can bulk sell all this stuff. That's us a shit ton of money that we can sell. Hooray! I'm good, thanks. We also check the TM machine. I want the TM made. What could be learned by how across the guys? Ooh, low kick is an option. I realize obviously still. Not strike. Oh, okay, so yeah, that's a shame. Low kick really being the best thing it can have other than counter at this point. Ugh. Teach Cycle to have across both of its stats are assisted by Ghost of Coverage against that won't harm, I think. Oh, I just realised the chat bit's lower down than the sight bit. Well, we've learned that lesson. But that is true. I've realised I've got Tormon up front. That's not what I wanted up front. Oh, it's arena trapped. Okay, well, I'm lost then. Right. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's resists Ghost, and it's able to then hit Ghosts better with Shadow Claw than with a Fighting type move, which doesn't really much to Ghosts because of immunity, and then Bug versus Ghost tends to go in favour of not. I forget Ghost weaknesses sometimes because a lot of Ghosts end up having other types to them. So in the event of a pure Ghost, it is, of course, resists. So yeah, that means fucking actually drops. Oh wait, yeah, using Mud Slap. That would do it. Please leave for a Ghost so the structure doesn't murder your pokes. Fun fact. Fun fact on that one. Arena Trap. This Dugtrio has Arena Trap. I can't see it visually, but actually, probably best bet for us to do right now is dig, so at least then we can dodge attacks and murder, hopefully. Because yeah, thankfully this isn't Legends Arceus where that Dugtrio there could just join and start trying to hurt me, and I would be sad. This is why I won't ever do it on. This is why I won't ever do a Nuzlocke on Arceus, because let's face it. Getting triple teamed by Dugtrios doesn't sound like a very fun idea. Right, anyways. Since we're going to use the various wild Dugtrios here, yes, Rogato is better, and I just noticed that their username is the 0003 Dart Monkey. Hooray! That's actually not a bad strategy. Having a free Dart Monkey in Bloom Star Defense 6 can be useful, or you could always go for a for the Glue Gunner one for free as well, and be able to just have a better time with the balloons being slower, and then so your hero can deal with them. Also, the level cap for Atticus is 32, so you should prepare for that. You never want to go about level caps. That's the thing. With Atticus, right. So the plan is that we use a combination of what would have been Salandit, Tormont, Heracross, and Fletch Tinder for the Orthworm. Get that dealt with. I would have loved to have Salandit, maybe even Salazzle. But let's face it, I'm over-leveled. Anyway, if I'm over-leveled on a Pokemon, I'm not going to just go, well, I guess I can't use that Pokemon anymore. Oh well, time for me to just grind up a different Pokemon and not accidentally over-level it. But yes, for Atticus, our best plan of action would probably be to be cautious of that. Obviously, Kofu is the next gym fight, obviously. Ooh, base 143 on the Sludge Wave. Oh. Now, thankfully, he uses 2 bloody Weather Rooms. So if you can deal with one, you can deal with the other. Hooray! But primarily speaking, if we look at what the Pokemon are weak to, Ground is going to be really useful. Ground is the only weakness a Skunk Tank has. So realistically speaking, obviously what we should do, now that I did evolve, so yeah. Gastron on the team will make sense. Vikavolt really doesn't at the moment. Vikavolt will be useful for, say, Kofu, not useful right now for Atticus. Do have to one caution on the Venoshock toxic plays that, of course, Skunk Tank can do, though. Just gotta be careful on that one. As for the Muck, we've always got to be careful of the Sludge Wave being super powerful, but has got a Psychic weakness. So if you've got any spare Psychic types about, or a Pokemon that can learn a really good Psychic move, which can hurt Steels if you don't use attacking moves. That is also true. That is also true, because its poison moves don't do anything, and if I just don't use attacking moves with a Steel type, then hooray! Let's see. Best option for that would be evolving Prinplup, and then magically, I don't know, using like, I don't know, can I learn can Prinplup learn like Switcheroo or Swap or whatever the moves are for switching items? Because then we could theoretically Flame Orbit, but obviously I don't have that opportunity. Or even Tinkertink, just have to level that as well. In that sense, Tinkertink is part Steel as well. Indeed, it is. It's also part Fairy. Then Weatheroo number 1 will have Iron Head and Sludge, we've got to cover those, as well as Assurance, just to really hammer it home, and those are Bulldoze to lower our speed. And then we've got the other Weatheroo, which of course will have the Poison-orientated Torque Maneuver. Hooray! But Weatherooms in general tend to be weak to ground, also Fire-Due there, Steel typing, though I don't remember, although looking on like places like Bulbapedia will yield like, oh the Starmobiles, they're just Solo typed. In which case, then obviously the Muck is a good frame of reference where Ground and Psychic will do a good job. So yes, we'll swap out Vikavolt for now for Gastrodon, so it'll be there for our stuff. But yeah, so obviously my approach of leveling these fuckers up ain't gonna really be doing too much in the grand scheme of things. Things for Atticus, though helpful against other stuff is always useful. So yeah. Right, okay, back to the grind. We'll have hello Doug Trios. I'm going to Seed Bomb you. You're going to take it like a champ. I should have probably done it differently against that kid. I should have double checked the dial, see if there was a way for me to back out. No, it dodges because of Mud Slap. Oh, to the Doug Trios. Damn it, the Pokemon that are leveling up the most are the ones I don't want to have leveled. No, oh well. Anyway, Slash. A very nice move to have. It does have a high chance of crit, although it's not super effective in any way, shape or form. Meaning that maybe having these moves is still useful. And hey, Worry Seed is always a nice backup as a, hey, there's a thing that I don't want its ability to be using. I can always cause it to have Insomnia. Although that doesn't work if we're also going along with the idea of using Spore on a Fungus once we can get to the level where it gets it. So maybe Slash isn't a bad idea. If we ask for Gato for its advice, it says it wants to forget the U-turn. I actually, you know what? For the moment, let's give up on it, and then we can go about that. Nearly swept Atticus with a Fortress because of how exploitable that Skunk Tank is. Had to switch out against Starmobile, not to risk getting hit by a crit Flame Charge. Ooh, yeah, it does have Flame Charge. That is a threat. An understandable threat as well, for that matter. Like they knew that. Oh, hang on. What if they just used the Steel type? Then just didn't have to worry. Like, it's a shame Salazzle was in the Till Mask DLC. Because it meant that Atticus, if Atticus had like a Salazzle, that would be a massive counter to just using a Steel type and just winning. But that they realised that, hence obviously a Fire move. Now, it makes a level of sense. It does at the end of the day. Right, okay. Random Tumbleweed don't really do much. Do I really sick by these dark trees? Ooh, a Carco! Standard line is capable in the base game. Is it? Oh, wait. Hang on. I'm trying to remember where now. Hold on. I've confused myself clearly. I have forgotten where you find them. Oh, they're all over the place in caves. And supposedly they are available through Oh, I murdered it away. Huh. We're just really good at murdering. Then again, rock, fire, that's 4 times heated water. That's quite hard. It's like slightly before the 7th gym though. Yeah, that cave. Yeah, that's the cave we could go into right now if we really wanted to, but it's just not worth it because all the Pokemon there will be more of level for when you're about to be making your way to the Psychic Gym more than anything else. It's like, I don't get what the trackers say is on, like, the south of the mountain, because I've been to the mountain before on other parts. I don't see where it would be a south or a north. Like, I know on the map that there was, and the mountains on it. At the same time, I just don't, yeah, I thought that Ada was pretty much all just one area, and the passage bit that's at the base that you use to get up. Right, okay, let's see. Level 28, that's fine. Level 27, that's good enough. You know what? I think we'll heal the team, and I think this will be good enough for the off one. No need to go too over-leveled. Right, we need to find it. I want to find a TM for Portmont. I really do. Because at the end of the day, Salandit is all over the place in Kirkami. It's really easy to find that. Heal me team! Right, TMs. Portmont's TMs that it can learn include the likes of Takedown. Not really the most ideal maneuver in my opinion because of the vehicle. Thunderfang, fair enough. Low kick. Right. Thief. Charge Beam, Facade, Metal Claw, Rock Tomb, Low Sweep. I don't know where to get Low Sweep. Full Switch, Brick Break, Dig, Elemental Punches, which we did for Thunder, Seed Bomb for coverage, Body Press, which we got a really defensive one, Crunch, Play Rough, Close Combat, yeah, okay, so realistically, that's okay, fine. Also, if possible, delay, yeah, that's definitely an option. Because it does learn it at 48 instead of 50 something. So that's an option there, but obviously, I'm just gonna open Portmont anyway, even though it's Arm Thrust. Pretty sure the Bulldoze TM is catapult at this point because 3 Sandy Gas Sand and 3 Mud Brain Mud. Bulldoze. See, at the end of the day, Bulldoze is probably Bulldoze. Actually, do I even have a TM of Bulldoze at the moment? That's the thing. We should probably check that first and foremost. Power Gem, what was Drain Punch? Can't use Drain Punch. So yeah, Shadow Claw and Heracross. That's actually a good shout. Actually, overall wise, because it just it will do more than Horn Attack ever could. Right. Anyway, Flame Charge. I have a Bulldoze. I can teach it onto not Portmont. It's Heracross and Gastrodon. Hooray! Well, I mean, Gastron can use it. It's tagged down, sadly, but it can use it. So that's an option. Heracross again, obviously that gives it options. Sadly for us, though, is that the Orphan will have Earth Eater, which, not good on that end. Sadly. But for future usage. Actually, you know what? I just realised. Probably should double check Gastrodon's moveset to not teach a TM that will run via level up. That is going to be on me if I do that wrong. Where is it on the decks? Because we got Shallows. There's Gastrodon. It gets Muddy Water, then Earth Power. Yeah, it gets Special Maneuvers. Sad. So, but Bulldoze for the time being will be useful. Take it over Body Slam, I guess. I was just keeping it there as a good way to get potential paralysis. Because Heracross doesn't need it. Not at the moment. Right. Let's head to the Orphan. Yep, that's how it might be. Let's give it a shot. If we fail horribly, then... Oh, no, I don't want to check the details. Getting Orphan completed should give us... We've got Dash from the Cloth, we've got the Surfing from the Bombardier. It should be the ability to jump higher than we already have. So, has its use, I guess. Hello, Skiddos! Goodbye, Skiddos! They sure do love being all over the place. gotta say, Gen 9 is definitely a generation where you can just get stuff. Over the also is Minecraft. Yep, as we've been saying. At the end of the day, Earth Eater is a pain in the ass and makes me not want to use ground types, but it's just so, god damn it, it's so goofy. Oh, you take a special fire fighting. Yeah, special fire moves like Incinerate on the Salandit. That is dead. I hate life. On the bright side, Stab is still Stab. It will do more when it's Stab. Comes I just get round to beating it up, and then Arvin's like, Chris, that's its tongue, and it'd be like, Incinerate would be, yeah, it would. Wish we had it. Wish we had a Pokemon that would actively be good for physically defensive steel type. But hey, we live and learn, we made our mistakes and all that, so yeah, Orphan as a whole, obviously team analysis wise we can see what it does, but recommendations, because it forgets about the aspect of utilising Earth Eater, the tracker tells me to use Sandygast and Gastrodon, two Pokemon that have ground moves. Ground will obviously not do much. Thankfully, Iron Tail is actually very inaccurate in comparison to quite a lot of other moves, so this is actually quite an easy fight, which is lovely. So yeah, Pokemon, if Pokemon was on level, if Iron Tail did hit, it would do about roughly 29% health, give or take, but at the end of the day, it has... Okay, the tracker's wrong. No, the tracker is right. It's just that there's so many that it resists. Due to Orphan being pure still, its resistances to normal grass, ice, flying, rock, steel, fairy, dragon, bug, and psychic, and immunity to poison outside of corrosion and Salazzle. Also, what fight up to this point of the game was the hardest? Ooh, hardest fight we've had so far would, in terms of losing Pokemon, we would have to say either A, well, we didn't die at all, either A, the Carmine fight, when fucking Mighty Anna has Fire Fang for the first time, which murdered my Yanma, or the fight we did in front of the Poison Base that murdered me Salandit. And if we want to go in terms of Nuzlocke in general, I actually managed to get right on the first Carmine fight in Kitakami in the previous attempt of this said Nuzlocke a while ago. So, you know, that sucked. In terms of the hardest fight in this game as a whole, I argue could go to many of the endgame fights. Many of the endgame fights are a lot harder than you think. Obviously, it's so weird. I find that in general, all four of the Elite Four are so much more hassle than the champion fight. And I think part of that is because that's not the true final fight of the story of the Elite Four, because the Mona exists. And she's got a real good team. Her team's quite good. Cavell at the end of the Team Staff storyline, oh so, like, cool. But that's not up to this point of the game. This point of the game, really, the poor me in the Mona fight, where she terrorizes it and it can only be using Thunder Shock if you've not caught a ground type, could actually spell disaster, especially if you pick Baxter as a starter, and that could be an issue, you know? I think that fight is a definite, like, it teaches you in the tough love kind of way what terrorization does. Oh, we can't see it, but Arvin has a Toedscool. I like Toadscool. I like Toedscool. Toedscool was a sleeper here, actually, in my opinion, of just like a Pokemon that you just didn't expect to see at all existing, and it's like when you actually see it, it's like, yeah, you know what, yeah, no, this is fine. I do think that Mesmerized isn't the best of abilities. I like being able to hit Spore consistently, but having to go second not the best. But yeah, Pormont the Destroyer God. So that's fun. Pormont Sweep. Hooray! So anyway, let's go to Cascafava and murder the water types. Here's our option. We have that option. Also Slam. I will not be learning Slam. It is horribly inaccurate. I would have better odds not using Slam. That's the thing, the hardest fight was the Titan Bombardier because you don't get to heal between the two phases. That can be... Yeah, no. Bombardier can be quite a pain, actually. Because it has essentially access to 3 stabs. Because it's got the ability that boosts walk moves. And, of course, it has a walk move. Bombardier, though, is Flying Dark, which thankfully does have a good amount of weaknesses to it. That means that there is a level of balance to it. But, yeah, stab, wing attack, stab, pluck, stab, walk, throw, essentially. Sadly, it doesn't have Dark Stab, actually, looking at it, because it has Torment. And Torment, if you hit hard once, and it tormented you, now you're not going to hit as hard, potentially, if that was your best move, or your only attacking move. Depending on the Pokemon you're using, of course. We did it! We found the white one. I forget what it is. The salt one, probably. 2 stars actually does no darkness. Yeah, I just realised that. I just looked at it. It's like, no, it knows Torment. It knows Torment. Oops. But yeah, it's the salty one. Hooray! Salt! I'm salty half the time. Hooray! Curse you, Strass. But yeah. So we are now probably... It's probably best to just think. Do we have 3 Pokemon that can go into the poison base? That's the other aspect. Like, obviously against... if there's more Skunk Tanks as Stunkies around, then obviously Pormon should be up front and centre in a way. But for everything else, maybe not. But then even then, poison's not the best option either. For some salt onto the sandwiches. Lovely. Arvin sandwiches, they're delectable. They're lovely. They're amazing. Once we remove all the milk, of course. Anyway. Well, milk-based products. At the very least. So, you know. Sandwiches. Friendly reminder to eat and drink properly. Have a good diet. So that's a smart idea. Arvin has learned his lesson after the previous 2 times, thankfully, and yeah, we don't need to eat. Well, at least we don't need to eat this one. We'll share. Because we're kind. We are kind people. And, of course, Arvin is trying to heal Miss Positive. Miss Positive, our precious big boy doggo. Game Freak knew how to make multiple real good looking dogs in terms of design. Don't want to be foreshadowing, but for the gym challenge in the 5th gym, there's a trainer with Greedon that knows counter. Oh god, why is that thing that occurs? I forget. Is that the Mona fight? Was that... No, that's not the Mona fight. 5th gym. Oh yeah, that's Larry. That's the normal stuff. I'm thinking like 5th. Have we done 5? Have we done 4? No, because 4th one is obviously Cascafara. 5th one's Medali, which that will probably be a thing. Or do I remember the answer off the top of my head? Because we could evade doing the entire mission. If I can just remember the puzzle. I don't remember the puzzle. I probably have it written down somewhere from a previous playthrough. It's not in this notebook. I know it's... Because I know it's not in this one. Because this is the one where I have, like, my stupid D&D ideas. Which are not stupid half the time, actually, because... And also very plagiarized, because I forget how many series there are online of people doing D&D. That isn't just, you know, the obvious ones. And then it's like, no, all these are probably done. I think I went through them before, and it's like, yeah, no, oh, what, a good orc? No, never. No one would ever do that. What's my main plan for that gym, for that trainer? Ooh, yeah, gotta be careful of those Greedents. They can be a pain, actually, thinking it through. But hey, you know, I am enjoying the fact that I've gotten a lot more further through. Part of me wants to, when we're high enough level, to go back to Kirakami and finish up the storyline, so we have Ogerpon access, which is always going to be good. Ogerpon's amazing. but I also think it is a level of cheating to it because it's Ogerpon. Ogerpon's too good, which is why they put it behind the bloody disloyal free, unloyal free, the traitorous free. There's a lot of words you could use them. The stinky free. They probably haven't showered, which reminds me, in this heat, remember to shower. My computer's telling me it's 27 degrees as an example. It's probably a little lower than that potentially, but nope, my phone's also saying that in the area it is 27 degrees and feels like 28 and could be potentially as high as 29 at some point. Hooray! Bloody humidity is what's killing me on that one. But we can now jump higher if we hold the button. This isn't as useful as it could be in some ways, but also can be quite useful as well. In other ways, it really depends on what you're trying to jump. If it's somewhere you can already jump before that, then yeah. So like now, haha! Screw using the ramp. On the other hand though, obviously if we beat up the other, it's violet, so it's the spinny one. Pardon me, it's the more steel-based one, isn't it? I don't know the paradox names of the violet ones because I've primarily played Scarlet, haven't I? Lovely me. Firestone, hooray! Right, okay, why am I moving around? I should probably just head to Pokemon Center, just heal up, make sure that's all sorted out, and then think through what are we doing next? Are we going to fight Atticus next? Because that is an option. We could go to the water gym, get ourselves a bit more levels on that one, fighting, although we have to fight Stab Fab Hammer. Oh, that'd be painful. Actually, Atticus' team isn't too bad in terms of just having access to multiple high stat Pokemon in a way, or at least in some ways. Super weak to ground though, super weak to ground. So now we go into our box, and now we have to just quickly just do that immediately. Also, for a Gyarados, probably not going to be all that useful actually, to be fair. But we have not many options in terms of our additional Pokemon. Quagsire, obviously we have the Steel types in Tinkertink and Prinplup. Tinkertink evolves. Who are you playing for right now? Ideally Atticus we should prep for next. Because we can go, because when we go to Cascafara, we're also going to have a bunch of more areas to go and do encounters in. So, yeah, if I just quickly, how close to level 24 is it? Oh, it's real close. Hold on, let me just go and fight something down in the water. I'll save rare candies for when it's like a full level up. Oh, there's no, of course, I jump into the one bit of water where there's no water Pokemon. Well, that's what I get for going to Lefincia. Right, let's just quickly fight a water type down here real quick. Where is a water? Oh, there's a break. Nope. No, these aren't water types. Oh, these are bleeding other stuff. Oh, you know what? We'll unfrost the Magnemite real quick. Because we just need a little bit of experience for it to evolve. So, yeah, unfrost, not. Wrong option. Actually, might be the right option anyway, because they have sturdy half time. But, right, okay, that deals with getting it to level 24, hopefully. Yep, okay, so good. Brutal Swing. I mean, I'll take Brutal Swing. That's 60 power. I think I look over. Atticus. As we were thinking of it, at the end of the day, it is a poison affair that at the end of the day has, yeah, Sucker Punch, Finish Shock and Toxic. So it's most likely, if we're using a Steel type, it will be able to hit us with Sucker Punches. Not the wisest, though. Obviously we'll. Wait, where did I put Tinkertink? There's Tinkertink. Evolve! Tinkertuff! Hooray! Which means, of course, now if we want it to be fully evolved, we're going to have to level it more through the power of leveling to level 38. Ooh, that's a bit on the high end. That means we'd have to over level. Yeah. Not a fan of that one. Well. But then getting Prinplup into a Pokemon is a similar situation where it has been to the 30s. Oh, let's chuck it around. So yeah, now that it's that, we could instantly give it forward. So that's a thing. Sadly though, we are putting ourselves into a situation. Pay attention to both the screen and this, because I'm just trying to... Oh, Squawkabillies, hello. I mean, yeah, Tinkertuff actually is quite useful. Resists the dark, is immune to the poison, weak to ground and fire, but again, Atticus doesn't really have ground or fire moves, like, at all outside of the main big one. So the main one has Flame Charge. Other than that, pretty sure you could get Quagsire recover with the help of egg moves being passed without the need for breeding, aka wasting the count. Huh. That can work. I thought egg moves were literally locked behind having to specifically get one through breeding. And I don't have Ditto, I think. Ditto legit just... I don't have Ditto yet. And I can't get Ditto until we go near the dead. So I would need something else like breed with, and I don't know. I don't know the specifics on what can breed with what. To be fair with Pokemon, I tend to steer clear of Googling Pokemon breeding for the very obvious reasons. The internet forever should be cursed with forbidden knowledge. But that's just how it is. I'm not going into that again. That topic again. I've done that way too many times. Way too many. Anyway, since we're here in Lafincia, what battle items do you have in the daily presents? Soft Sand, that's always good for our ground maneuvers. I'll grab one of these and utilize our LP for this one. I'll grab Soft Sand, just power up my ground maneuver. Loaded dice are here. We first make sure Crag holds a Mirror Herb. Ooh. And a free move slot. So I'll buy a loaded dice for now. I think while we're still using that. Then I have a Pokemon that knows recovering the pie and then enter a picnic. Right, okay. Well, once I'm gone through these, then goods. Is there anything? That's a super. Actually, while we're here, Pokeballs. Do they have quick balls? No. I would love quick balls there. Well, right. Let's see. Do we have a Mirror Herb? Mirror Herb. Where would that be? Probably in the, not in the berries. It would be around here somewhere. So we've got an Air Bloom, we've got Rocky Figs, we've got Soft Stone, we've got Claw, Apples, Stone, feather, drinks. I don't think I've got a Mirror Herb. I've got all these things, but... Right, so then that means we gotta do a quick, good old Bulbapedia search. I love you, Bulbapedia. No, I don't love Bulbapedia. It's not working as intended half the time. Mirror Herb. It was introduced this generation. Ooh, Mirror Herbs can perform Cascafire Deliver Center. That is useful. And if we were to use it in battle, it'd be able to be used to copy stats gains, for instance, Dragon Dance. So yeah, that is how it works. After the picking of the first Pokemon will learn that egg move even if there's no matching egg group or if both Pokemon are of the same gender. Ooh. Okay, so yeah. If we could benefit Quagsire actually then. Doesn't Gastron have... Yeah, Gastron has Recover. We can get Recover on Quagsire then. We could also go for other egg moves. Holy shit, that's actually quite a nice way to do things. How have I not figured this out yet? Well, for the moment then, Fingers can fuck off. Because, yeah, it's probably not going to be all useful for the moment. It's not really useful for the moment. So, Quagsire, come onto the team. And obviously, forget Slam. Slam is horrible. Slam is just not that good of a move. Oh, we have a damper. Oh, right, perfect. Right, okay. Actually, before we do any of that, let's just double check. What can it remember? No, that's items. I want to remember. Oh yeah, it has like its like rain bands and that's it. And it's just true, I did the same thing with different Pokemon, but I only got covered as an Eggman. Ah. So, yeah, change of mission objective. Let's head to Cascafala. And in order to do that, we need to double check. Did I actually go to Cascafala at some point? I did head into Cascafala. Right, we need to find where is the dedicated presence. It is... Oh, that chance is right there. It's over there. Yeah, it's over on that side. Well, because then we could do that, and then Quagsire has Recover, which is a good thing to have, just as a way of restoring health. That actually means I should probably double check what other egg moves a Pokemon may be able to learn. Like, I'm not sure if you need to defeat Kofi first to be able to find Mirror Hubs there. Ooh, that's a good point. You might have to... Oh, I'm riding them right on the table. That is a good point, though. Also, yeah, the left stats. Damn it. Oh, we gotta go in the middle. Obviously, when it comes to Cascafala Gym, if we want to prepare for that as well while we're at it, that's a Psychic type for loser, but no Psychic type maneuvers. It has flying, it has coverage against grass. Other than so, I did want to get some or electric. Pokemon once again. Yeah, actually, you know what? We probably don't have to worry about too much about about Cascafala Gym. Pokemon probably sweeps. Right, so anyway, in the Battle Iron department, we can get our hands on Magnet, Heartstone, Poison Barb, Spell Tag, Dragon Fang, Normal Gem, Leftovers, Big Root, Light Clay, Millhub. Hooray! We'll buy a Millhub. Every shouldn't be following over Water Moon, Poking, Gastrodon, Storm Drain, but no possibly Grass, Quagsire, if Water Assault. Yeah, our Quagsire is damp, which is a little unfortunate. I'm buying leftovers now because I haven't put on any Pokemon. And you know what? Pokemon can have Magnet, make Thunder Punch a little bit stronger. So yeah, obviously, sadly for Quagsire, damp, but we do have Storm Drain, so we could actually do that as a play. Sadly, doesn't really have anything to really go with it, but. Yeah, no, so yeah, items. We want to put items, so we want Mirror Hub on Quagsire. I want to put, part of me was thinking of putting loaded dice on Pokemon, but also if I'm gonna do that, then that would be a wise idea. Leftovers on a bulkier Pokemon, like Gastrodon, could always be a fun idea, or Soft Sand as well also works. Other than that, nothing else really added item-wise. Otherwise, I've actually got all like these. You know what? Alright. For Gato, here, have a billion mochis. And feathers. Why? I don't know, just out of madness. So yeah, let's go have a picnic. Let's go into the desert. We'll sing the Persona song later. Rivers the desert. Because that's the only part I remember. All because of how hot it is and being in the desert. Maybe When Mother Was Home would be the song that would be in our heads from Persona 5. A good game. And Persona 5 Royale, an even better game. Partly because it just expands upon what... Oh, no, Pokemon, I didn't mean to summon you. Mainly just because of how that works. So, welcome to the desert. We haven't actually had an encounter here yet, but we'll save that for a moment. Picnic power! Hurrah! I have yet to do a picnic on this world, but yeah, our lovely Pokemon. Wow, Gastrodon's a lot shorter than I thought it was, to be honest. Meanwhile, Quagsire's big. Hey, big derpy boy. Love it. But anyway, yes, so making a sandwich would be, having a picnic would be what we need to do. So ideally what that means is sandwich time. So with sandwiches, what have we got sandwich-wise we can make right now? We can make from the recipes the jamboree jam sandwich, ham sandwich, pickles sandwich, and cheese sandwich. I could make a cheese sandwich and get more bugs. That's not a good idea, really. Or we even encounter more fires, or normal, or psychics. Actually, Lopestas are in the desert. That's not a bug, so, or we could just go creatively, and this is what we've collected by looks of things. So, let's see, ham. Let's go ham. I like ham. Let's have some pickles. It's probably underrated, but Azumarill is really fun, good for Nuzlocke. Half the time you get huge power is the ability, and that's why I was refraining from going for Azumarill earlier in the game, because it's a coin flip. If you get huge power, 2 thumbs up. If I had a third arm somewhere, a third thumbs up. Huge power is amazing on it. If you have huge power. That's the only thing that stops you. Let's not fry cheese. Strawberries, eggs, potato tortilla. All of your favourite things. And then, what shall we have? We'll add some ketchup, add some salt, some pepper, maybe a little bit of jam. Gotta get some jam. Okay, well, while I'm busy remembering bad Human League songs, once again, I do that all the bloody time. Honestly, it shouldn't be surprising for myself. So let's place our ham, and then we place a pickle here, and a pickle here. Then we'll place the tortilla. Then we place another pickle. In fact, it's also good because it makes you effectively quadrissist both fire and ice, especially when combined with Azumarill final combination. Yeah, that's true. Thick fat's not a bad thing to have, though. That's true. But yeah, it doesn't stand up for huge power. See, that's the thing. Thick fat on like a grass type is amazing because it's just like, oh yeah, fire and ice, the 2 big weaknesses it has outside of all of that. Its other big weaknesses. Hooray! Less issues. It's stayed. Yeah, it stayed. It's the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, when sometimes having 2 different abilities, one that's really good and one that's still really good but less useful for what you want it to do. Yeah, huge power at the end of the day. Behold our magnificent sandwich! It's so amazing, isn't it? So lovely. Yummy. Lunch. That's right, I'm having lunch in a video game instead of in real life. Yeah! It was not a bad sandwich. Hooray! We knew how to cook. A tasty Nuzlocke Dose Original. 3 stars! We get access to encounter power fighting, raid power grass, and XP point power walk. Huh. Well, time to go and encounter all them fighting types. Also, Quagsire's sleeping. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's so cute. Oh. I also think Tough is also cute. No, it looks like it will just want to hit me with a hammer. Also, it's gone all sandy. Well, just in the off chance Quagsire and Gaston are in the same bloody A group, I might as well at least check the basket once. Nope, okay, nothing in that. Cool. Let's get out of here. So, did Quagsire, well, it has the mirror hub still. Did it learn recover? It did, and it keeps the mirror hub. Huh. That's useful. So mirror hubs don't disappear. That's always good. We'll put it away for now. So that's useful now. Right, okay, encounters that we could do. We could go into West Province Area 2 a little bit as well, and Area 3. Now, Area 2 is on the mirror hubs don't disappear. Yeah, that's useful. That is really useful, actually. I'll happily take that. So we are now in West Province areas. 3 is just off the direction, but we're in the desert. So what we'd be wanting to do is head towards West Province Area 2, potentially. Or we could go about doing our encounters while doing the gym mission. So ideally what we want to do then is have Foil Data up front or Poorman up front. One of the two. They can deal with this. They can deal with Kofu quite easily, both of them can, I think. Maybe less so against the Faruza for Gato, but that's just stuff. So yeah, if I at least start the mission, not saying that so we can always do it, that'd be useful. This will be our 4th gym, which means whichever gym place we go into after this one, we'll end up with an Amona encounter, mission-wise, I think. So we've got to be careful on that front, but... Oh, a muscle band. That's useful in its own ways. No, we don't have a held item on our cat. We can give it a muscle band. That'll boost its physical moves, which it really appreciates having access to. I bought the... I realise now, I bought the loaded dice thinking like, oh, I'm going to need it for Arm Thrust, but like, actually... But that's only if I'm going for an encounter where I'm fighting normal types, maybe. So, ultimately, it's a give and take. Heading up towards the gym location that it is. First of all, it's still sandy, goddammit. And of course, a floating Falooza occurs as well, as Kofu goes sprinting away. He's a busy man. Unfortunately, he's gone and forgotten his wallet. I've done that before. That's not a good thing. But yes, we are indeed a gym challenger. So, whatever the mission would have been initially doesn't matter. Now our mission is to go and get the wallet to him. Hooray! Obviously, the mission itself is actually to do an auction after this, but yeah, the Porto Meridian. Some of the Spanish-sounding stuff is actually, it sometimes tricks me up, but that's because I am bad at English. Like, this is the thing, I'm bad at my own language. Like, that's not a good thing. No wonder I hated French. And by that I mean the lessons, not the language itself. French isn't a bad language. I mean, there's a reason Quebec chose to use it, and it must have been. Yeah, next tag. So now that we've gone and gotten the wallet, I guess we've detoured completely away from the poison Team Starbase. I've noticed that quite thoroughly, but you know, we got distracted. Since we're in the area, might as well run around the desert a little bit, see what we can encounter. Or maybe go for a teacup with electric terror typing. But then we'd be going for a ghost. It's an option. We'll think. There's Sanded Conjurers for more ground, Cactons for more grass. We kind of don't want either, really. Don Fan. This is the thing, I've collected too many ground types for my own liking. We've got an Afflittle, so S-Puffers are noped. We've got plenty of birds, in my opinion. Maybe I'll finally go and get a Gimme Gold chest and then farm all the other ones. And all the Gimme Gold locations. Maybe try and get a gold and go in a Nuzlocke. And I've hit the cutscene for the Titan fight. Now, thankfully, we don't immediately go into the Quaking Titan fight. That would be actually bad. That Cacton can go over level, don't fight that. Oh, well, okay, now Cacnea is level 22. But Cacturn being higher level, yeah, that makes sense. Things like that and the S-Pathway probably are going to be higher level just because they're like, oh, they're higher evolution stuff. And it's like, yeah, little, we have City Cobras. If we head too far in this direction, we can end up with the Titan encounter. Obviously, there's the Terror Pokemon there, as per usual. In this case, it's a Terror Sandygast, which means Duke's Claws. That. Capture Kits are about, but I mean, it'd be another Grass type, but we would gain ourselves a Fire type. Oh, that's where I think all the Lefestas go. Yeah, okay, so we can't go further there. We can't go further, because if we try going further, we'll end up near the Bleeding Paradox Pokemon, and I don't want to run that risk. That's a Lefesta Fuzz. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to look at it at the moment, because I don't want to accidentally run into a Pokemon I didn't want. Catching all from here helps consider because check the before so you don't fight one that's kick over level. Yep, that's one thing you've got to do, obviously. Yeah, well, yeah. Fetus tops ground, if you can't really find out what's ground. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, yeah, still type, still it's useful. Which means it would have the immunity. Trouble is, I know we saw one. I know we definitely 100% saw one. Oh, yeah, those evolved ones are forward. Can't really do much about those then. well, if we don't find another Orphan in the ground, we can always, once we get to the bit that leads into the next area, we can always go from there. Obviously, there's the Farlings here, we really wanted them. Tinker the ground, but obviously that's not an issue. Like, swerve around Farlings. Farlings isn't bad. It's not too bad. Orphan, level 23! Lovely stuff, yes. Right, so you're just going to be careful on that one, I guess, and the whole steel bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, not very effective hits will do that. Iron Head does that much. Cool. I'll happily do that. So that means like we have an encounter now in the desert. Where did they put the desert one? They put the desert one there because the tracker thinks that you're not going into the desert proper until you're doing iron shreds. As a possible ground immunity, it would be nice, yeah. Only way for me to check in battle obviously would be the method of throwing a ground type move at it, but for obvious reasons I'm not switching into a ground type. I don't want to actually kill it. There we go, my sea bombs have done the job. And it's using bulldoze, which is lovely. My speed, no! I've lost all my speed. Damn you, Orphan! Use Worry Seed to check his ability. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, I still have Worry Seed. It didn't get caught in the Great Ball, damn it. I mean, yeah, that's another option. We'll just do that real quick, because then we'll know for sure whether we've got an Earth-Eater one or not. Not then we will. Of course, Orphan at no point evolves, so that means we can just Orphan defeated in terms of... Yeah, it has Earth-Eater. Cool. And it's a very defensive Pokemon in terms of its physicality. You know, I have Ultra Balls. Why am I not using an Ultra Ball? I'm just being bad. I'm just bad at games sometimes. Oh, you know, RNG wants to fuck me over. Wait. Okay. It's just gonna do that. I'm gonna heal up on Gato, and then I'm gonna try again on Dreams. Because if it goes long enough, Timeable will always be not a bad idea. A ball to use. Ultra Balls, let's go. Have Pokemon on it, yep. Also, we are getting screwed over by the Pokemon not wanting to stay in the ball. Come on! Oh, you know, we could have gone for well, just have to try to connect with stuff. Maybe I'm gonna have to rely on a crit catcher. Ooh, that's just fun. I found out. I'll throw a Great Ball, see if that somehow magically does better. I don't want to use all of them. I don't want to use all of them. Nope, nope, don't go to battle. Nope. What rules do I have? I have Luxury, Repeat, Timer. Let's try Timer. We've been in for a while now, so Timer might be what we work. Nope, it's always kicking out one. Fucking, it's gonna stop letting me hit it so much with balls, and it's gonna then do its comeback, hit me for 1, 2, 3 on me, and I'll be staring at the lights, being like, God damn it! Did it really need to hit me with all the moves? Head stab is actually like okay. I've got 2 more Ultra Balls. Come on, be in the ball. It's always at 1. Always at 1. Just doesn't want to stay in the ball. Just stay in the ball. There we go. Used all me bleeding Ultra Balls. Ah. Right. Okay. Orphan. Do you have a way to fix that without killing it? Well, don't need to worry about that now, do we? Look at Orphan. Look at it. It's so silly looking. Orphan. Oh, I think a simple name. What do we call it? Could be. I could call it Tongue to do the SpongeBob reference every time anyone questions why it's called Tongue. Even then, calling it Alaskan Bullworm's a bit long, so. Yeah, no, I'm solving the name Tongue. I'm just gonna call it Tongue. It's bloody stupid. It's solely for a SpongeBob reference, but hey, you know. Never mind. Yeah. Tongue. Let's look at its summary before we start thinking as to where to send it. Attack down, special attack up, and if we swip it into a Pokemon that's going to hit us with a ground type maneuver, it heals instead of taking damage. Lovely stuff. So that means it is a modest one. Modest. Not what we want, to be honest. We might want to use a Mute. Ideally, like, speed down would have been better, probably. Like, special attack up isn't the last thing ever, but hey. So, we'll send it into the box for the moment, and yeah, we'll sort that out at a later point. We'll head into... Now to head into rest provinces that contain Pokemon. Potentially catching? Oh, I may have gone the wrong way slightly. Or the correct way, and we can just put them down. You have a Pokemon with access to Coil in your box pie. Coil level from can be extremely nutty in a lot of fights. Ooh, what Pokemon could learn Coil that we've got? That's actually a good question. I don't actually know. That's a Bulbapedia search, that'd be. Coil. The move. It is in Gen 9, thankfully, and if we're going for the search bit, sometimes it just doesn't want to actually, like... Yeah, it doesn't... Bulbapedia just doesn't like me actually trying to see. Fire level up! The Pokemon that can learn, and... bleeding ads. All fun learns the move as an egg move. Right, well that's one thing. Fire level up. We could have Ekans, Arbok, Ferret, Dunsparce, Survivor, Milotic, Huntail, Gorbis, Snivy, Servine, Superior, Electric, Electros, Psyguard, Silicobra, which we can't catch now because it's in the desert, Sandacoda, Sizzlipede, Centiskorch, and do Dunsparce. Fire level up. As for breeding, yep, it's Earthworm and Earthworm only, and yeah. So we do not have a Pokemon that can learn Coil unless it's... Where's TMs then? Does it just not exist as a TM then? So that would be the sole reason. Yeah, it's not a TM. Unfought. It is. Our best bet then would be probably catching a Dunsparce, and specifically in the... No! You! Tauros! Fucking Tauros! I remember you bleeding morons' existences. Sadly for us, a Tauros has attacked, so that means our Area 2 encounter is now Tauros by default. I wouldn't mind having so we might as well catch it at the very least. Area 2 of the West Province goes to Tauros. We catch it in one Great Ball. Phew. Tauros. Certainly not the random ass breeds it can be, but well. Tauros. Oh, because it's Paldean, so I need to press P, don't I? Paldean. Sure. It doesn't exist on the tracker. The tracker just doesn't have Tauros. It has base Tauros. That's weird. Well, I guess that counts for something. Which Pokemon should on agility? Because that's a speed boost. Oh, nah, I don't need it. I would count it as regular Tauros then. It's fighting instead of normal. For whatever reason, I just can't see it on the thing. I don't want to leave this menu right now. There's a lot of Tauroses. So yeah, fighting Tauros with Intimidate. On the one hand, Intimidate. at all times is a lovely ability. It's amazing against any physical attacker. Just lowering their physical attack is always a good thing. Tauros also has better fighting type maneuver than Arm Thrust. That's also good. Wish we had this before the Earthworm in a way. But, more importantly, is that at the end of the day, this is another fucking fighting type that we didn't nickname. I just realised. Well, anyways. So we now have a Tauros. We can now look at all the Pokemon like Deerling and Salt Stack. We could also call it Short Stack and have a bit of a laugh, but let's utilise this picnic person to heal up real quick. Hey, Tauros. Ooh, 5 fillets. And this trainer here has an Applin for their Pokemon they have while they're doing their picnic stuff. Lovely stuff. God damn it. Fighting type Tauros. Actually quite brutal. Oh, there's a Kofu. Meditite is an account this week could have gone and it has guaranteed huge power, so unfortunately. And off he goes. Lovely time. We could have had Meta type potentially. If we really wanted a fighting type, that would have been an option. If the psychic typing would have been lovely as well. Girafarig, which means of course it's moving evolution in Farigiraf. Hello Pokemon Center. I'm just going to use you to heal to get this fast travel point. I don't need to heal here at the moment because we don't need the heal. I'm a little saddened by that, but well, we live and learn, we go about it and try our best to not think too hard about all the things we fucked up on, as per usual. But anyways, welcome to a town that would have been optional if it wasn't for Kofu heading here. Fetch Tinder has a held item, we can talk about this 2 times, that's true. We don't have an item on Fetch Tinder because Acrobatics gets double power. It's lovely, I love it, it's a great idea as a move. Welcome to Porto Meridia. Heading over to where Kovu happens to be. He finally realises with a good old faulting for loser that he forgot his wallet. Remember your wallet when you're going to go and buy things. I suppose I could, since I do have my wallet, I suppose I could. Nope, that's. I suppose I could always lend Kofu. What money do I have in here? That's physical, because obviously digital payments and whatnot. Where is it? Ah, yes. I could always. Don't worry, Kofu. I've got a euro. Will that work? But of course, we deem what we have to say super important. But of course, the guy here is like, no. If you have something super important, that means it's a battle time. So Hugo here fights us. It was Longsword. Lovely Longsword. And if you're wondering, this euro is only useful in England for the purposes of trolleys in like Sainsbury's and Asda and that's all stuff. Anyway, we one-shot Floatzel because of course we're doing this as defense. So it's a real shame. I just happen to randomly have a euro still from. What year is it? 2025. We're nearing to a decade. Might be a decade since I went to Poland. We've now got access to muddy water, base night power, although accuracy, the accuracy. We'll take it because it's enough of it. It's enough power where I'm like, you know what? I'll take a bit less accuracy. I'm not gonna like it, but it's. Anyway, Claunchar. Claunchar. I've never used a Claunchar. If memory serves me correctly, it is a Gen 6 Pokemon. Doesn't explain it. I played Gen 6 multiple times through. I have a copy of Y currently. Pure water. Still weak to grass though, so it dies And we're so close to Masquerada. We're so close to having Dark, which will be useful against the Falooza. Won't remove a flying weakness though, so we'll start with Pormon A. Well, again, we could start with Pormon, switch it to just pure electric through Television and just try and sweep. I think that's my logic. Anyway, finally, we are able to give Kofu his wallet. Hooray, the magnificent, bold bastard can actually now buy things. All misunderstandings aside, we can now do the auction. Well, in the story auction. Because today's last item! Feast your eyes on the main event! Legendary Wakame seaweed of the home region! An excellent cooking ingredient! And, yep, switch one proof there again, the arms being relatively new. Kofu has decided that our mission for this is going to be the auction. So, yeah, lovely stuff. We do get some money from his wallet because you've stolen this money in the first place. Damn it. That would be mean. That would be mean. Do not do that. Don't bully the old man. But we are now in the auction. Make the winning bid. We have a lot of money. We could easily do this. We could... We'll start at 10,000. I bid 15. And that guy goes 20,000. And that woman goes 30,000. We're at 30,000. What if I go to 40,000? What a big spender. What in the world? Haha! 40,000 to us. We win. We get the seaweed. Huzzah! Let's hope it is a scrumptious meal that Kofu makes. We do hand over the seaweed, and at the end of the day, you will at least keep 10,000. Maybe we could have kept 15,000. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Also, Kofu's a Falooza. There's a flying type move. Kofu has 3 Pokemon, according to the tracker at the very least. It might be lying to us again. Has access to Falooza. Now, I've used Falooza in the past, and it is definitely a fun Pokemon to use. Thankfully, it doesn't have Flare Away. If it had Flare Away, I would actually be shitting my pants right now, because that would give it a very good stat boost. I would even maybe have a Mirror Herb equipped to whichever Pokemon I had up front, just for the purposes of not dying. Now we do have access to the auction potentially, maybe not right this very moment. Oh no, we can. Tomato berries. Gold bottle cap. Lemonades! Get your lemonades! Oh, why do we have to do that final auction? That's shit. This person just says welcome, and this person says welcome. So what do you actually have? You have sandwiches. Yeah, you can eat a sandwich, get egg power. Breed Pokemon. But yeah, no. It also has Stab Aquacar, which, yeah, that's 105 base power for a thing that can crit, hooray, and slash, and yeah, Pluck, which means we can't use powers in the fight. The second Pokemon on the team is a Wugtree only has 35 base health? Why? No fully evolved Pokemon should have 35 base health. Oh, but to be fair, it is really fast and hits really hard. I guess that's its way of balancing. Well, anyway, it has Water Pulse and Mud Slap, not utilizing its 100 attack. Oh, but it does have Headbutt. Yay, potential flinch spam, hooray. Now, what we should be worried about is, of course, the Predominable that will be getting Terrid Watered and having access to Crab Hammer and Rock Smash and Slam. Actually, no, Slam's not too bad. We can survive that. We can. Right, so anyway, let us head to Cascafawa once again to now fight the gym. And Area 3 is not too far away from there, so we could also run into an encounter there, because the tracker suggests that we'll nip into the mountain, which I don't agree with that idea. Maybe, yeah, getting an ice move for Larry Star Raptor is sensible, but other than that, I'm not too sure about that. We have plenty of fighting, so understandably I am not worried in the slightest for Larry's gym outside the Star Raptor. And even then, Aircross as well, most definitely is not getting used in that fight. But we did put Chagall on it, so probably we will use it for that. If Control gets Defense Locks and Gastro with Rock Smash Switch, that is definitely an option. Because that's one way to deal with it. it won't be, it will not be able to use Tab Hammer if we swap over to Gastrodon specifically. Then Gastrodon can just slowly moderate. Anyway, entering the gym, Hassel and Wiko are both here. I have yet to do an art lesson. My apologies, Hassel. I should probably be more prudent with my attendance. But also Rika. It's Rika. Something that seriously makes people question my taste in human beings can be said. No, I'm sure the people that headcanon her as a waging lesbian will probably hate me for that thought process anyway. Or at least the people in my head will. But Rika! She looks alright. The Ground Elite Four and the Dragon Elite Four in the same room at the same time. Hey, colourful Elite Four. I honestly, I do like the Elite Four of this gen, actually, to be honest. I think they all look good in terms of their designs and in terms of their teams. Now, I have to say in terms of their designs, obviously, because considering my previous statements towards Rika, I cannot say the same for the Steel type one because that's a child, and the moment you say the words, that is a child, all impure thoughts should immediately be purged from your head. Purge them from your mind. Bleach them out. Do not think those things. What are you? Genshin fans? What are you? Fire Emblem fans even? I joke I'm a fan of Fire Emblem, so I shouldn't do that joke, because yeah, I'll be hitting myself on that one. And besides, I actually do legit use Noe as a party member in Awakening. I think she has a good amount of use that you could have, and I do quite like some of her supports. It's a shame though that it's one of those dreadful 1,000-year-old dragons. The people love Kofu, and Kofu loves the people back. As we've had also 2 people that are involved in making food in the gym circuit. Both Kofu and previously with Katie, the bug gym leader. This is certainly a neat thing. But we did a good job helping him out, and that's all that matters. Hooray! I didn't switch to Pullman up front, did I? I was going to do that. And I may have been an idiot. Well, we'll figure that out in a second when he sends out the loser. Voting for losers! And yeah, I sent out my cat. Ah, right, okay. Do I run the risk of switching? Base 60, it's not stab. Mold breaker though? But we are quite over leveled. If I really feel like I need to switch, U-turn is a thing. Because we'll guarantee go first. It will guarantee kill. Victory! We beat the Falooza! We'll stay in for now then. As the Bug Trio, we actually have better defenses than it does have in terms of stats. We'll stay in for this one, and then we'll swap over to Gastrodon for the Indomitable for a bit. If you hear any shouting, I apologise. A critical hit on the Bug Trio! That's 2 down, 1 to go. Floragato sweeps! I ain't fucking keeping a Floragato up front against a Indomitable. That while it does switch to water will actually probably hurt me more than I want. Although Gastrodon is not the smartest decision. If anything, what I should have done is more according. Because it will tear into water, it gains the resistances of a water type. So if we get water type, great, that's be able to assess it more completely. In this case, perfectly, it doesn't resist ground or rock. So we'll utilise that. We'll just go for an Agent Power and hope for the best. His Pokemon's gonna walk the boat! Oh no, it's gonna go become rock type. But also yes, it's nice to see Indomitable Shame that it was in its base game, Sun and Moon. It would only be available up the final area of the game, right by the Elite Four on the mountain. Thankfully, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon made it a little bit easier. Not too easy, but easier. Omni Boost? No Omni Boost. Bam! Muddy Water will deal more damage than 80 passes as higher BPM stab. Yeah, I was also kind of hoping... Ah, it's Storm Drain like an idiot! Okay, yeah, Muddy Water will be more useful. I was kind of hoping for the Omni Boost, I'm going to be honest. Just as a overall, just... Not very effective, but it does do more because it trapped hammers like an idiot. Like, I already... Like, it should not have gone for... then again, it probably did, so I'm thinking, well, we don't know what it's... Maybe that's the logic I was using. I don't know. We also are not getting the accuracy downs. And the power of leftovers, helping keep ourselves a little bit more healthier than we would be normally. Gastrodon, utilize your Muddy Water. Our Slug did it. Good old Slug, doing the job that the Slug must do. Hooray! And that be the victor! And I believe we aren't at the right level. Oh, Slam, no. Tinker, Tough, no. I don't want to teach Pokemon Slam. Yes, I know how to remember moves game. Kofu is defeated, meaning that is gym badge number 4. The halfway mark. In terms of gyms that we have left, we have obviously got the normal gym that's up nearby in Medali with Larry, as well as Wyme in the mountain at Monteverna, which is a double battle affair, so we've got to be careful on that one. And of course Tulip and Grusha. Grusha we do last. That is the last gym. I'm not being an idiot on that one. But we now have Nosferatu. Heart of Dark. This is a boon. What levels are the things in the Ghost Gym? Level 41, 42. Ooh, right, okay. We might actually be able to actually handle the Ghost Gym quite well, actually. Yeah, pardon me. This is because Dark is good against Ghost, and obviously Havercross has Ghost Claw, so we'll Shadow Claw, so we'll put that on there. But obviously Flower Trick, it gets a really good grass maneuver. A little bit less power, but it never misses. And we can boost the power more with like a Miracle Seed, as an example, or stat boosts. Anyway. And it will always be a critical hit. The fuck, Game Freak? This is so good. Like, it's a really good move. Maybe we should find some PP ups, so that we can use it more. But like, holy shit. So yeah, there's a reason why people like Masquerada. Because no, but because it's got a good move and good type, and it actually utilizes its grass dark typing a lot better than you'd think. Because obviously grass dark, not necessarily the best in terms of typing, because let's face it, when was the last time you said, I know, I shall use a Shrift Tree? Anyway, any Pokemon that are up to level 40 will now actually most likely listen to us when we actually do catch them. Also, Chilling Water lowers the target's attack stat in the process, which is lovely against a physical attacker. And preferably, Pokemon also weak to water in the process. Need a good water type to give it to, which we have several of. Whether that be Prinplup if it can, Gastrodon if we want something different to Muddy Water, Craggsire, which we didn't actually need to use, and we probably will box for the time being, but... And Nemona's here! Hello Nemona, how are you doing? Yep, we are indeed at 4 badges. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. However, we do not battle at this time. Nemona is clearly going to be in whichever gym we happen to go to 5th. But regardless, that's lovely. We did a good job there, actually. Next up in the objective category, according to the tracker, will be, yep, after the 5th and before the 7th. Oh, after the 5th. No. Could be wrong on that one. So next objective, realistically speaking, is of course going over to the next gym, which will be the mystical powers of... No, not the next gym, the next objective on the thing. I don't have gliding yet. I forgot we don't have that yet. Oh my god. I need to remember the progress we've made sometimes. See, Cascavora Sea, there are Arracudas in the water. But at the same time, it doesn't count as a new area, sadly. Now, we could maybe head out to the next province, which is this down here, Area 3. So yeah, this is Glacado Mountain. I guess maybe part of the north bit counts as North Province Area 3 or something, because if I look on the map, on maps online, yeah, no, they are classed as south and north. There is a distinction. Like the north, like the south part also has the passage bit, I think. And then the north part's there. Maybe there is a north bit. Oh, the north part swings around all the way to there. Oh, okay. Right, I understand now. I understand now clearly on that aspect. So to get to West Province Area 3, our best bet is to head over to the Area 2 and yeah, go from there. Also, if we head this way, we can find ourselves in a new area? Nope, not a new area. Oh. But yeah, oh, there's a Salander. I just spotted one. I was so lucky. I got a female Salander. Anytime you get a female Salander, that's an instant like, oh, you gotta catch it. Just because it's actually useful. But then, sucks how we didn't get it. I did not go near the Taurus, and now we do need to not have Mouse Squad up front when we encounter Taurus, because it is actually weak to it. So, because of Dark. And that's why Dark is maybe not the best thing overall wise, because it doesn't help you against that fighting type. Actually, are we heading more towards the lake or the area? We're heading more towards the lake. Oh, that's... so when we enter the lake area, we're not going to encounter anything, because lots of times in the area, these are going to be higher level. I've gone the wrong way slightly. But we'll just loop around, because we'll get back into the West Provinces in a second. Because West Province Area 3 is beyond this path, thankfully. Which is good. Otherwise, we can examine here at level 49. No! We cannot fight. The bridge bit and the river is meant to stop you from running off too far. I like how there are like guides and videos online that will say like, oh, in order to get, you can skip Mela by having the Bombardier Titan fall. But it's like, you don't need it. There's a sand bank. You can actively move across the shallow bit of the water on the beach parts. You can actively just jump across to a bit of sand. Oh no, the vegetation is surrounded by Murkrows. No! Well, we can't save them. Ah, totally. I have too much grass and ground. I honestly die to fire. But no, I don't die to fire because of the water types, but you know. But anyways, this roundabout way over to the Delhi leads us to the next location for gym fights. Not gonna do that yet. We are 100% going to want to have Heracross evolved. No, not evolved, higher level for that, as well as other factors thought out. More importantly is oh god, that's gone cold. Oh yeah, it's been nearly 2.5 hours, so no wonder what little tea that's left in that cup has gone cold. I have not been drinking out of it as quickly as I should have been for it to be a nice warm cup of tea. Now, in this area, there are various Pokemon we may have already encountered, but we didn't know. Now, well, in terms of like we've encountered species like the Funguses, we could actually have we encountered Jigglypuff? I thought we encountered Jigglypuff. That Jigglypuff might be a Ditto. That's the issue with some of these Pokemon around here. They may be Dittos. So if you don't want a Ditto, you gotta be a bit careful. It kind of sucks in that way. But you know, there's a number of Pokemon we can find here. You can find Tropius. Shroomish. A Jigglypuff is a Ditto. Don't catch it. Yeah, I figure that much. See, the great thing is if you've already encountered all the Pokemon that you can find around here, then you don't have to worry about like, oh, what if Ditto? Because you'll be able to see on the lock-on like question marks and it's like, oh, I've encountered you. Ooh, an X is a DM. Ooh, that's lovely, that is. We can just put X's on any Pokemon now that we want it on. And maybe on a bug type that's physical attacking, not Psychical, you know? Sadly for the Pokemon we haven't really encountered, like Shroomish, we don't have that same luxury. Because we've yet to actually encounter a Shroomish. So we could encounter one and it ends up being Ditto. That's just the risk we'd have to take. Like, oh, look at the Dex Band! And that actually is a Dex Band. Probably because it's surrounded by due to the rule set, I use it I was supposed to catch a Ditto, worst counter ever. Oh yeah, oh, that is. Because at the end of the day, Ditto has no use. Like, hey look, Pikachu. But probably Ditto. Yeah, no, Ditto's horrible because the issue with Ditto at the end of the day is all it has is transform, and that means you have to deal with a Ditto that's been transformed being your only real way of doing anything. So that does suck. Anyway, part of the Respondence Area 3, if you go up this way, is the Area 0 gate. That's kind of cool. And if you head this way, you'll get into Dallasippa Passage, which then allows you to get up to the mountains, which is there, because I'm not pointed north. So yeah, we are definitely got access to the map at this point. Outside of climbing walls and gliding, and of course the in-flight movement boost you get in Blueberry. Obviously we don't have that because I don't want Shroomish, I don't need more fighting, and I don't need more grass. Dealing is the same situation, I don't need more grass. Same with Tropius, we don't need more grass, like seriously. How could you think I am against live in my content? I have no bad options. Oh, there's your best option. There's your team. Absolutely. I mean, you can always transform it. But the Star Raptor, it's just like first off Star Raptor. So this is a way into Area 6. We're not allowed in there yet. Ooh, give me go Koi. Hiding here right by a gate we can't use yet. Why is it just Master? I understand the Meowth because Persian's but Master? Must be nice Ditto. Oh, good level. Frostlass, Masquerada, Salt Stack, Porbo, Azumarill, Clodsire. Those are the best encounters. Oh, gotta be careful, there's a bigger wolf over there. Masquerada suffers against Larry. If it's the gym fight, then there's the Staraptor. Just gotta be careful on that front. But Salt Stack does help out against it. Same with Pormo. Ideally, do the 1,000 steps and then level it to get Pormont. That's the ideal there, but fair enough overall wise. Against the Staraptor, Salt Stack and Pormo will be useful, same with Frostlass. Frostlass having Ghost is useful, but not so useful against the Kamala because it's got Sucker Punch, and not so useful against the Dunsparce because it's Drill 1, and then it's got Aerial Ace. Ghost would be so much useful on a Pokemon with Levitate. But, well, just because most Ghost types end up being weak to various other moves than just the Ghost stuff, which is a shame. I want to go back into Area 2 actually. So. Oh, I didn't mean to fall off the cliff. Probably bad. Down here then. Honestly, could go either way because Staraptor doesn't have fighting moves, which is very bizarre to me. Like, that would be something I would have thought would be on a Staraptor, but I guess I just didn't want that to be the case. Which, yeah, fair enough now I'm actually thinking. So, honestly, not worst case scenario. You can always swap into Frostlass to counteract a normal move being used. But then, I don't know, I like Frostlass. I don't want to badmouth it. I don't know actually. I mean, yeah, if we're keeping up with like level cap proper, and I don't really want Meowth catching a Persian with bear. Eevee! And it's not got question marks! Fuck it, Eevee! Eevee! I accidentally clicked on the person on the Instagram of the sprite person. Fuck! that's on this site. Okay, well, right, Rust Bottom's area 3. It's an Eevee, haha, and it's not a bloody Ditto. I also don't want to hit it with any moves. Though that's the only issue. I don't have quick balls yet. Get in the Great Ball immediately, please, Eevee. Please. Exactly. That's the sole. Oh, damn it. That's the sole reason why Eevee is really lovely. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you do with the Eevee, but it does. You know, we'll vote one bite. Okay, yep, that's good enough. Thank you, Masquerade, for. I realised it was stab at the last second, didn't I? I don't want to use them. That was switching. Don't want to switch anything. Really? 2 Twister really knows the thing? As long as it's not Pharaoh, it's probably going to be useful. Yeah, Fire really doesn't have much more it can do in terms of trainer fights because it's like. Sure, it will be useful against the Steel type Weather Room in that because it's base. Nemona's got Crack Revolve, so and Lycan Walk and Goomy, so yeah, Flareon's not going to be so useful against Nemona's teams from this point forth. Larry's it'll be neutral, it'll be fine now, I guess. Iron Treads is a Steel type, but it's ground still, so less so in that one. Tulip's team has nothing that's outright bad, but Flareon's probably not the best for that. Flareon, I would say, would be useful against Grusha because of ice types, but outside after the Frostmoth, it'll be like Beartick with Aqua Jet. It's a Titan with Liquidation. Otaria. Need I say more on that one? Tager's got the Fairy types with Food Power Azumarill because I dread Aries team. I really struggle against that one. It's a real good, strong team. Tatsugiri itself is part water, so you know, not so useful there. And then when it comes to Elite Four, yeah, there's a Steel type one, but like Corviknight, and they all seem to have nice coverage of ground. So yeah, no, Flareon's not so useful in terms of the encounters we've got going for us in the main story. Which means obviously one thing we do have to do at the moment now is come up with a name for the Eevee. Part of me just wants to call it. Oh, it's male. Part of me is thinking Chloe, a reference to the anime, but since it's male, Flonka has been good into the 4th team starbase since 5 assists fairy. Yeah, Flonka has supposedly good special defense. It does indeed have quite a nice special defense. So yeah, it's not the worst thing ever for Ortega, but at the same time, Ortega also has ways of dealing with it. So it's just more, you gotta be careful with it. I don't know what to call it at the moment. I'm just gonna call it something simple or something stupid. Let's call it. You know what? We can call it we can do a reference. It's not a game that I'm the biggest fan of, but Final Fantasy 13 reference. Let's go for that. Hope. Fuck it. It came to my head. It came to my head, and it just so happened to be a reference to a game. It was a reference to a game. Look into my eyes, and it's easy to see. 1, 2, 1, 3. So it's of course level 28, meaning it already has Bite, it has Swift, it has Baby Doll Eyes, and it has Quick Attack at the moment, and it has One Away, and it's physical attack down. Okay, so ideally we should go for maybe one of the evolutions that are more specially offensive. So yeah, it's calm natured in terms of its thing. That's what that means, and it's quick tempered. So this is where we need to now assess the evolutions. Thankfully, this is actually quite an easy thing to do. You just need to go to Eevee and figure it out. Vaporeon or Sylveon could be good based on the nature. Yep, those two are the primary candidates, obviously. In parts due to the fact that they have good special. I am failing to see where Eevee is on the Pokedex. God damn it me. Because, yeah. Vaporeon has good special attack, however we do have plenty of water types that are doing a good job. Maybe Eevee can be in the box as a backup option in the event of horrible stuff occurring to the water types we already have as a way to turn it into Vaporeon. We do have got the Water Stone, so that's not too bad. In terms of Jolteon, it is also especially offensive if we need an electric type. So again, that's probably more backup suited, but also faster, so in that sense. Flareon's more suited for physical attacks, so, you know, does get Fire Fang at 30 if we level up. Flare Blitz is not a bad thing. Could be realistically, it could be anything except Leafeon and Flareon. Yeah, realistically speaking, all of them are. I mean, Umbreon's more of a defensive Pokemon, and I don't think we really need a Dark type one. So, Glaceon is an option. Have an Ice type. It would give us a handy counter to the Staraptor if, say, Tormund died, or if, say, Gastron's not the best option. As Ice is good offensively speaking, because dragons and flying types, they don't like it, but we would then give it a weakness to Fighting Rock, Steel and Fire. For 4 types I'd rather not be weak to. So, Sylveon has a really good use. It being Pure Fairy means that it hasn't got too many weaknesses nor resistances. Really, that really makes it go like, oh, if only it did this thing better. Actually, yeah, that's the thing. It's running 4 resistances: Fighting Bug, Dark, and Immunity to Dragon. But does give us Steel and Poison weaknesses, which we won't be using immediately in that event. But a good, strong Fairy type that actually is able to utilize cool, good, special, offensive Fairy maneuvers. And if we have a way to give it, and Ice is pretty good into 3 out of 4 Elite Four members. Yeah, because Ice is good against ground. No, not ground. That's the one that's bad against. I did. No, not really. In some ways, actually, yeah. If I looked at like the team, Sylveon could be a bulky setup sweeper with Calm Mind. Ooh, yeah, that is true. That is true. Also, we could theoretically, if we could say swap. There is a way to swap abilities to the hidden ones, is there? I swear there is. Because if we could swap it to Pixelate instead of Cute Charm, that would be useful. We'll put it in a box for now, so we can get out of there, please. This is something. Oh, it's like doing the Pokédex entry. Oh, I'm gonna watch. Hello. The thing with it is, at the end of the day, Eevee has that utility that is being able to be a panic button. Oh shit, this thing died. I needed that typing more than anything else, which is useful. Right now for Fairy, we do have Tinkaton. Well, Tinkaton, it'd be Tinkaton eventually. But its Steel typing does mean that it has more of a weakness to Fire types, whereas a pure Fairy like Sylveon would be useful in that sense. Also, I don't know how to evolve Sylveon. Eevee into Sylveon. But that's neither here nor there. So, ultimately speaking, we've got a nice Pokemon now. We got a real good Pokemon. I love Eevee. Eevee is amazing. I love it. Amazing Pokemon. I need to redo that tier list video that I was working on at one point that then died in the hard drive. I need to go on that ultimate tier list thing and just make that video and just be like, yeah, this is my favorite Pokemon, and there's a reason why I've got those biases that I do. You know? That's an option. So yeah, no, we've got a lot of good goals to get to. Cold. Why did I leave some left in there? Ugh. I say that we can start next part with like deciding what our team should probably be more optimized wise for the next couple of fights, and yeah, I think this is a good time to just put a stop to it, because I want to go into a room that is not making me melt. It's my excuse for the whole of the summer. That is just what I'm going to use when I feel too warm and hot and bothered. I can just stop with that powers. Hope people enjoyed it. If you do, you can always do all the things you can on YouTube, and of course check out the other stuff like the Trails of Cold Steel Wartless playthrough that I am in the process of doing whenever I feel up to doing it. Have fun then. Yeah, you too, Free Dart Monkey. You enjoy yourself. And hey, we'll be back for sure. I'll come up with a more fun thumbnail next time as well. Because let's face it, it's real fun. I do enjoy the idea of everyone trying to get jobs in the same place. Although it's not gonna have to be Masquerada. Oh god, I'm gonna have to learn how to draw Masquerada. No!